Steve Hunsaker, right? Steve, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. And while you're doing that, you stall for me. I'm going to do a couple of shares and then I'll stall for you. You can share this on your channel. Anybody that's watching this on the replay, go ahead and skip to about the 3-minute mark.
Got it. Got it. So we're just getting live right now is what you're saying?
Yeah, okay. Our live is getting live.
Yeah, right? I like it. Okay. Well, for anybody that's tuning in, like Donovan asked who I am. My name is Steve Hunsaker. I'm out of Arizona. I own a temporary Christmas light business. It's been around for about 5 years. This is our 6th season, called Valley Christmas Lights. I co-own Valley Premier Lighting, which is our permanent lighting brand. We're installing Donovan's Minleon product, all that. Our customers love it. And then I also am the owner of the Home Service Accelerator, which is quite a few of the CLC, the CLC people are in Home Service Accelerator now. It's like a marketing program that shows home service business owners how to run their own marketing and set up their own systems without agencies. So, running your own Facebook and Instagram ads, which like I've done in my own businesses for the last 2 years now, something like that. Doing all of your Google Maps SEO, setting up all your sales processes, all of your systems, all of your like texting automations and stuff for inbound leads, all of that jazz. And so there's about 450, 500 home service businesses in that. And it's just like, you can learn from me, but you can also learn from dudes that are doing, we have guys in there that are doing 500K, $1 million a month in different trades. So all the way down to like guys with window cleaning businesses that just started. So that's my kind of rundown of how we got here. But let me share this on my socials, Donovan. What link do I share?
Just go to the Christmas Light Contractors page and you can share from there. I just shared it to my personal page. So any of that you can do. I just shared it to the group, but I would.
Okay, cool. I just got
right now. Now, if you're on YouTube and you want to like reshare it from YouTube, I did enable that people can like go to that live and rebroadcast it or whatever. So depending upon how tech savvy you are, man, just go.
I'm on it. I'm sharing it. How do I? Okay, I'm on it. I don't know about
copy link. I mean, look, you don't you have like a software program that you've like dialed in to automate like people's follow-up, where as soon as the phone rings, they get like an instant quote and all this, but you and I can't figure out how to share live now.
No, we can't, but I will share this. I'll just share the YouTube link to my Facebook.
Yeah, that'll definitely work.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And what I would say, guys, is, we're going to be talking about a couple of things today. Like, for one big thing I just want to go ahead and tackle is you guys are on it this year. You got a right-hand man named Jack. And so I want you to talk a little bit about like, what year 1 through 3 looked like for your business, and then how you guys are executing right now this year and what's kind of different. Because I'll drop a little nugget, because I talked with Jack earlier. He said that, hey, I'm basically running the show. Steve is the money man, which I don't think is an insult to you at all. I think that's the way you want it. And so he's like, Steve, stay out of my way and I'll get this stuff taken care of. And he's doing it. Like, y'all already have $200,000 worth of lights installed this year, like doing $100,000 a week worth of installs. How's that happening?
Yeah. Okay. So a few things. So Jack is very nice to say that. Jack is my co-owner in the permanent lighting brand. So Jack was my first employee ever. And then he just like grew in the business to where like now he runs all of the temporary business. All I do for the temporary business is manage the managers. And then I do all of our marketing, obviously. Like that would feel on brand for me. But like our model is like, I won't touch a bulb this year. Like truly, I will not touch a bulb. Jack doesn't want me to touch a bulb. He doesn't want me to touch a strand. Jack says that my quality of work is not up to our standard, which is why Jack is where he is and I'm where I am. So like, I'm much more like at this stage as the business has grown, I'm definitely more of like the facilitator and the dreamer than like the executor of the lights. But that's like how most organizations should be when you get to like at least our size, where it's like at a certain point as an owner, it doesn't make sense for you to be installing everything. It doesn't make sense for you to go out to every single sales job, anything like that. So that's kind of where the division of labor comes in. But
man, I gotta be upfront with you. I'm probably going to touch a couple of bulbs this year. You know what I mean? Now should I? But I will say this, like, I think it seems like I probably do more work than what I actually do, because I promise you, every job that I'm actually on, I will share that on social media, because those are
For sure. So people think you're out there every day.
And then, so I think I did like 3 gutter cleaning jobs this year, but I stretched those bad boys out over like 2 months. You know what I mean? Like I got so much content and videos out of that. I'm like, I'm still relevant, guys. You should still listen to me.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
and so what's different about Home Surface Accelerator, right? Because you threw that out there a little tiny bit. What's what's your like? How come you got people that are like such a wide range that are plugging in, people that are brand new? Like, what value can somebody get out of a Home Service Accelerator? And then when should they not pay for your service?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm finishing posting you this link to my Instagram, so I'm sorry if I'm looking down.
No,
But yeah, honestly, the big thing for me is like how Home Service Accelerator started was, my first 3 years in business, I probably went through 6 or 7, 8 agencies, right? Between the junk removal business, the Christmas light business, whatever else. Google pay-per-click agencies, SEO agencies, Facebook ad agencies, whatever else. And like kind of the conclusion I came to at the end of the season 2 years ago was like, at least Meta, like Instagram, Facebook ads, like I can run myself. And so I started running them myself, because what happens in the traditional agency model now with how good the Meta algorithm and AI has happened and gotten is like, the only thing that matters is the creative, like the video itself. Like no one's doing like crazy targeting settings now and like A/B testing all these different interests or anything like that. Like it's all the creative. And so what happens when you sign up with an agency is the agency is going to sign you up. They're going to charge you $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. And they're going to say, all right, Donovan, go film these ads. And so you already have to go film raw footage for yourself anyway. And so I was like, okay, well, if the 3 prongs of running ads as a Facebook ad agency is they make the creative, they're used to set up targeting. There's like, it used to matter. Like in 2020, we used to target like conservative Christian, like you can't do that anymore, like with all the rules. And so if it's creative targeting and then like a little bit of like strategy, the AI can write you all of the perfect text copy you need in your videos. You can film and edit them yourselves with CapCut. You only need 3 winners. And of those 3, only one's going to get 90% of the budget. And then outside of that, it's like, to me, it was like, what really is the agency doing? And so unless the business is doing enough to offset what the agency charges you, then like, it doesn't really make sense to me on Meta. And so what I mean by that is like, a lot of these Christmas light businesses are like, I want to spend $50 a day. It's like, okay, $50 a day in a 30-day month is what? $1,500 a month?
$1,500, yeah.
And if the agency's charging you $1,000 a month, or like for easy math, let's say they're charging you $1,500 a month, then 50% of your Facebook marketing budget is going to just somebody clicking go. And so the other 50% is going to the ads. And so
you're saying dollar for dollar. Are you saying that you doing it yourself, the average entry-level business owner and stuff like that, they're not going to get half the return that an agency
No,
so it's better for them to just do it themselves and learn, so me, you know me, I like learning this much and then delegating, right? So if I were to do this myself, how long do you think that it would take me to be like in your training or whatever, to be comfortable where I could be like, you know what, Donovan, you can go and run your own ads and get a pretty decent return, right? Like, like what's that learning curve time frame look like?
Okay, so it's like when people join Home Service Accelerator, we typically like to onboard them like within the first 2-3 days of them joining. And so like there's actually the post you made in the Facebook group, a guy commented that's in home, actually like 4 guys in Home Service Accelerator commented, like Jeremy Murphy's in there, Quade Connor's in there. And Quade is one of the stories that I tell. Like when Quade joined, we gave him like the 3 scripts that he needs to go film. And then once they film them, we get on a call with them and show them how to set it up. And then we record the call so that they have that for themselves forever. Quade Connor was live, like with ads running day 2 or 3. Like he joined on Monday or something like that. He was live like within a day or 2. And so it's just like how fast you want to get the creative. And then like the creative is not that complicated. I give you like everybody listening, this is the shortcut right now. It's you call out the area you're advertising in. You say who you are, what you do, why you're different. You give them an expiring value at the end, like an offer. And then you tell them to click get quote now. So off the top of my head, if we know that's the 6 prongs, it's call out the location that you're advertising to so that they feel like, oh, this is local to me. So what's up, Scottsdale, Arizona? My name's Steve Hunsaker. I'm the owner of Valley Christmas Lights. We are one of the only Christmas light companies in the entire Valley where all we do are Christmas lights. So what does that mean for you? It means XYZ, insert value proposition. For the month of October, new customers get X amount of dollars off. If you want to get your whatever done, click get quote now to get started. Boom, there's ad one.
Wow, that's awesome.
And so like, that's it. But like, then you like script a little different creative variations. Like you stand in front of your vehicle, you do the opener in front of like, you do the opening like line in front of like a landmark that's notable to where you live. So in Arizona, like one of my ads that performed really well last year, you could see the skyline of like the red mountains in my background, whatever else. And you just keep doing that. And then like for anybody that wants to just DIY it, it's like, you don't make one creative. You post like 3 to 5. And what I mean by creative is like the actual individual video or ad you make. Okay. And so you make 3 or 5. What's going to happen is like you publish them all to a campaign, which like you can find like basic setup strategy on YouTube. And then of that 3 to 5, one of those is going to be a winner. 2 of them are going to be complete trash. And then Meta will kind of like start nurturing them with like your top 2 to 3 ads. And so what it means is like, they'll show Donovan ad number 1 today. And then like he interacted with it, but he didn't take action, didn't give you like first name, last name, whatever else. And then the next day they're going to hit you again. And then you're like, oh, I saw these guys yesterday. And then eventually you just convert. And so like for us right now, it sounds crazy, but like in Valley Christmas right now, like we're spending $350 a day on Facebook ads right now in September, October 1st.
Okay, so wait, let's do the math on that real quick. $350 a day is what ad spend in the month. Well, okay. How much were you spending in September? So for the past 30 days, so what's your ramp? You know what I mean? Like what's the progression there? And when do you ramp up? When do you ramp down?
So the brutal reality of running ads in September, and like I could sit here and like try to look really cool and like, oh, dude, it is a grind to close temporary jobs in September because there's no like built-in demand with the calendar yet. And so like September gets really hard. October's still like somewhat difficult. But then what happens is like, we understand that when we generate these leads now, they may not close until, you know, mid-October, October 31st, but our follow-up's so good that like eventually we'll get it back. The other side of it too is like what you don't understand about like what most people don't understand about like Facebook ads the way we have people set them, which is like very video heavy, very owner in the ad, all of this stuff, is it's a lead generator, meaning like you gave me Donovan Quesenberry phone number, address, you want lights. But when you do it that certain way, it also becomes a brand builder. And so like they might see, you know,
they see you over and over again. Then they maybe see your truck and then you're in the neighborhood. They see your shirt again. And
and I think like newer business owners underestimate how like much your local market pays attention. So what I mean by that is like we had a $30,000 residential job last year that saw our Facebook ads and then converted from our Google page. So she'd been getting hit with our ads, but in our CRM, she didn't actually come from a Facebook lead form. But my sales guy, Kyle, gets on site, my head of sales, he's awesome. He gets on site and he's like talking, you know, just shooting the breeze with the customer. And she's like, oh my gosh, your guys' ads are so funny. And he was like, he calls me after and he's like, dude, you said our ads were funny. She's in the CRM that she came from Google. And I was like, oh, yeah, like that's what happens. Like they see the brand somewhere and then they convert somewhere else. And I think like the way we teach it is like we hyper target into high income areas only. And like, regardless of like, oh, sometimes the computer's IP addresses aren't there. When I was paying agencies to do it, they didn't get even half of the ROAS I got. So everybody that's in the comments.
I need you to say a soundbite right now that's going to piss off every agency so I can cut it. And that'll be the 130 seconds that we share of the entire talk.
Yeah, I know. It happens to me every time. Now, let me just preface this. There are good agencies. Like there are good. And if your business is big enough, meaning like your spend offsets the agency fee. So for example, if I'm spending $350 a day,
$1,000 is nothing. You know,
yeah, if I'm spending $350 a day, I'm spending 10 grand a month, 10,500. The agency fee is 1,500. That's 15%. It's like not that bad, but most people are not spending $350 a day. Like we're scaled up to that. And so, but like, honestly, like Ashley at One Love Social is a good agency. Like we used her in the past. Like she got me results, like absolutely. But like I would be pretty hypocritical if I owned Home Service Accelerator. I didn't run my own.
And you're not doing it yourself.
Yeah.
So so let's talk about what is the kind of the proof of the pudding. And again, I've mentioned it a few times. But you've built up. How long has it taken? When did you start? You and I are both 2018. Is that right?
No, dude. Like, I have such a vivid memory of you on my first job. Like, before you and I were even friends, I posted it in the Facebook group. I was at my first install ever, and they had like metal flashing, and I was like, there's a tile roof. I was like, I don't know how to do this. I'm out here. The customers paid me. I posted in the Facebook group, how do I do this? And like, you responded in 2 seconds. We're like, oh, paint. Like, it was like the paint scraper under the metal.
Yeah, the
paint scraper under the metal flashing. You're good. Dude, I remember like that when I was so panicked at my first customer ever in 2020, like doing everything myself out of the bed of my Gorilla ladders out of the back of my Ford Fusion sedan. Like,
oh man,
dude, you like, honestly, if you didn't comment that there in that moment and fix it for me right there, I don't know if we're here right now, because like, I probably refund the customer. Like, I probably can't do it, and I don't know if I do another job. So
man,
I started in 2020. All that long-winded 2020.
Okay. Yeah, look, so 5 years, but from 5 years you've built it to 7 figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this year you're gonna hit 7 figures in lights. I mean,
well, yeah, with the permanent we already did. So so we've done 7 figures now in a calendar year. So we did our temporary season last year was like 808K and some change. That's like a little skewed because like I do a chiropractor's house for free. But like, you know what I mean? So like Jobber says 803, but it's like somewhere around 808, something like
that. Yeah. I know how that is. And every cash payment has been recorded and reported. I mean, every penny does not go in the safe. It gets deposited in the bank account. I know exactly how that is.
Of course. Yeah. So but like, just to preface that, which like I just want to make sure it's clear, because I think that sometimes Christmas light guys get on here and they don't tell, not on this, I'm just saying on the internet in general, they don't really tell the nuance of their story. So people will hear numbers, they'll be like, oh, like that doesn't really make sense. So like, for example, if somebody says their average ticket's 20 grand and I'm a residential guy and I'm like, 20 grand, like what am I doing wrong? And then you're like, oh, the dude has a $500,000 shopping mall. So like, I think it's important to like go into the nuance of like the actual model of each Christmas light business. I'm a service-based leasing model. That $800,000 figure is all temporary installs. We did not do permanent last season. That's all temporary installs. And like 94% of our revenue is residential. Right. So our average ticket's $3,800. And so like we have a 40 something $1,000 commercial job. We have a few like bars, but this is like largely residential.
So I mean, it's safe to say that even your residential average is above $3,000 because you don't have that much commercial.
Our residential average is like 3,750, 3,800.
Wow. Yeah, that's great. Yeah. I think I looked mine up and I'm at like $1,000 less than that. So I think I'm like $2,600 or something like that.
Yeah. And some of that is like the model. And so I want to make sure I make it really clear for like new guys. Like, it's very easy to hear somebody and be like, oh, my market's different. Yes, your market could be different, but like I spoke at a conference 2 years ago and I made sure to not say where I was from because I knew people in my market were in the crowd. Yeah. And lo and behold, every time I talk about a residential ticket, people come up to me after and they say like, oh, I can't get that in my market. 2 people in Phoenix told me they can't get it in their market.
Right.
I'm in Phoenix. And so I'm not saying that like I have like, I'm not saying like I have, the sauce and everything I say is gospel, but I am saying like I challenge everybody listening to like, one, when you talk to somebody who does like larger numbers, do the homework on like what their model is. Are they doing permanent when they say those numbers? Are they leasing? Are they doing a lot of commercial? Like, are they running roof lines only? Like all of these different things. I think that's like important.
Have they been in business 20 years or is it their third year in business? I mean, that right there, like the guys who say like me, I don't spend any money on advertising. Well, for one, I've maxed out my labor. Why, if I have more leads coming because I started in 2018 and I got so many leads coming in through my Google profile and referrals, and we've done hundreds and hundreds of houses and stuff like that. And I got all these organic leads coming in, and I'm not growing my business, right? That right there is the reason why, I don't have to spend money on advertising, right?
Yeah.
But somebody who goes from, 100 grand to 250 grand to 500 grand to 800 to you're spending money on advertising. Like, you got to be able to read into those numbers a little bit. So real quick before you jump into that, because I can tell you're chomping at the bit to add some more information. Hey guys, anybody in the comment section right now, all right, Steve and I are just going to be spitballing tonight. We don't have slides prepared. We're not trying to sell you on anything. We're trying to let you know where the resources are. But like, we're so dang busy right now. We got an hour to like just shoot the shit with you. All right. Mm-hmm. So if you got any questions, any comments, anything like that, go ahead and put it in the comment section. And, again, if you need help with anything, guys, we are both transparent, probably to our own detriment.
But that's for sure. I mean, I see, dude, now with like Home Service Accelerator, dude, it's crazy. I don't know if you see it in your market, but like I see exact replicas, word for word, bar for bar, of like every single ad I do.
And I saw my own sign, like literally my own sign, that they just copied it and like changed out the phone number. One guy actually stole my signs and started just putting a new phone number on there. And, so I was just like, all right. And so here's what I do, right? Because everybody knows, co-owner of Christmas Light Contractors, so I sell a lot of materials. What I do is anytime I see a sign or a job, or I'm like coming up against a bid, I'm like, oh, who else is? And so I pull out my phone real quick and I look to see if they've ever bought lights from me. And if they haven't bought lights from me, I'm gonna whoop them. I'm gonna whoop them every time. If they do buy lights from me, I'm just like, oh, you know what? That's a really good company. I don't think that I can, I can't beat that price. I think you should just give them a call back.
It was probably his employee. There's no way he did it. No way. Oh, also, I see the chat. Jackson Gilbert's an HSA guy. He just posted his Facebook ads today. What's up, Jackson? Yeah, and then Clark asked, when you do your average ticket, what's more realistic if you remove the outliers? I
think he's just saying when you talk about average ticket, you know what I mean? If you have those big outliers or the big commercial, I think he's kind of, agreeing with you. Here's the thing that I will say this about Steve, okay? And I think that people say it about me. If not, you can go look at the past lives where I've literally brought up my jobber and showed everybody. We were transparent. And I will also say this, we've both been at places where we're like, man, how are we going to pay our rent next month? Or, you know what I mean? Or like, what do we got to sell to make this work? Like, you don't have to share that, but I will say, like, we have both been at like, how are we going to make this business work? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's some golden handcuffs. And then we've also gotten out of that. What we didn't do is like sell our business and become a full-time coach. Like you know what I'm kind of getting at, Steve?
Yeah. And I'm actually super transparent with it on my content too. I almost went bankrupt in year 3. Not like, oh, the business didn't make money. Like, oh, Steve almost filed for bankruptcy. Like, I paid, thank God my apartment I lived in at the time allowed me to. Like, I paid my rent on a credit card for like a 9% fee for like most of 2022, maybe. Wow. Now, like, the story behind it's kind of sad. Like, my brother died on October 5th or something like that. Like, I thought my business was set up to run without me. Went back to Seattle, booking like crematoriums and shit, just terrible. Yeah. Like, business just like plummeted. Like, we lost like that. The following year, we retained less than 50% of our customers, which means like we also just did a terrible job. And so, yeah, I almost went bankrupt. And I'm like, I don't hide that, because I think like if you are like Donovan or me, who's like privileged enough that people pay attention to whatever you talk about on the internet, even if it's 5 people, like, I think we do the entire market an extreme disservice to not tell those stories. Because like, it's very easy for like me to like, when I do an Instagram story and I show like, yeah, we've done $200,000 in installs and it's October 1st already, like installed, first deposit and second payment have been paid, like 200 grand. That's fun because that sells stuff, like that sells whatever I'm selling, right? Because you're not going to buy something from somebody that doesn't have social proof. That's just the reality. But I think it's like you do a disservice to not be honest about that. Like, I mean, I was very low margin for the first 3 years too. I ran the business like an idiot. Like, I financed a car I shouldn't have financed the second I had a 6-figure installed year. It was stupid. I was stupid.
Let's be honest. You like nice things. You know what I mean? Look at Steve's hair and look at my hair. That is like the biggest difference between the two of us. Okay. He's fine. He has perfect lighting on his face. Make sure there's no like oil on his forehead. You know, teeth whitening every night. He puts a little glow thing in his mouth.
No. That's just
look pretty. He wants all the women to just swoon when he walks by. I'm over here like can barely string 2 sentences together and, looking like a bum and haven't shaved in like a day. Yeah,
Donovan, you got kids and a wife, dude. You got kids and a wife. You already won the game, man. I'm still out. I'm still out in these streets, man. I got to be presentable.
Oh man, we do got a couple of questions that have popped up here. So
okay,
looking good in blue. So I'm assuming that's either you or this house behind me. I think that's
yeah, that's Quaid. That's my dog. Quaid's a home service accelerator guy.
Okay,
Quaid's the one I was talking about. He joined.
Here's the Christian Viking himself, Philip Ambrose, signing up tonight after changing the baby. So he did not listen to me. He's having babies right in the middle of light season. Okay. I was like, y'all need to listen to me. Quit looking at your wives on Valentine's Day.
I was going to say,
you know what I mean?
Sounds like a Valentine's Day baby.
Look, Valentine's Day would have been November, right? But he was trying to get prepared for Valentine's Day or something. And having babies right before the light season. So that's my tip for you guys. If you want to have a good, successful business, look at her after Valentine's Day. But, So here's the thing. Philip hired an ad agency, did really good. Next year, not so much. Right? How often do you hear that story? Right? Like, oh, it was really good, and then it was like, leads went away. Or this one area it did really good with the same agency, and the next person got no results. Right? I feel like I hear that often, where it's very hit and miss. And I do have a theory. That agencies start going after new clients instead of taking care of their existing ones because they want to grow their business too. But Philip is like, man, I still got to figure it out, right? So got to figure out how to do his own ads. So I'm assuming that's what he's signing up for.
Yeah, he's got to. Yeah, tell him to hit me up. But we'd be happy to have him. He'd be a good community member too. Philip's an awesome dude. Yeah, dude. Like when you understand the business economics of running an agency, you understand why 99% of them are trash. Because it's like an agency comes on and they're going to charge you $900 to $1,000 a month, $1,500 if you're a bigger business. Some agencies that are actually start getting good are the ones that cost like $2,500 a month because they can allocate resources to you. So what happens is let's say that I come on and you and I are like, let's start an agency tomorrow. And then we get 10 customers. Like, dude, that's 10 ad accounts I'm managing a day that I need to be tinkering with. I need to do whatever with. And so that's 10 ad accounts. Most of these agencies that are selling you $900 a month retainers, they need about 40, 50, 100 for the unit economics to make sense. And so then it's like, okay, they're managing 40. Let's say they have 2 employees. How many man hours do you think are being dedicated to your account? And probably not that many. So if that's the case, what are you paying $900 for? You're going to get the same results doing it yourself with the structure. Yep. And it's I mean, you can go in my YouTube comments. You can go on my Twitter. It's not a secret. You can see the guys in the chat.
And
my guys run out.
And to be fair, I mean, we have devil's advocate right here because I'm not going to do my own ads.
You're in a position that makes sense.
Right. Yep. And so look, guys, two sides of the coin here. If you're going to hire an ad agency, I would also argue, here would be my argument, at least know if they're doing a good job, right? Because that's another thing. A lot of companies out there selling shovels to gold miners, right? And you're making more money selling shovels than you are mining for gold. So in the beginning, you're brand new. You don't know what's going on. You could educate yourself, maybe tinker around with it a little bit yourself. You start growing and you're like, you know what? I don't want to be spending 2 hours a day on Meta and then on Google and then over here doing social and then over, you start saying, you know what? The $1,000 a month is actually buying back my time. But what I can do is I have enough knowledge now to know if they're doing a good job or not. And I can move on to somebody when I'm starting to get diminished returns. Like if you can do it yourself, then obviously an agency who's supposed to be an expert should be able to get better results than you can yourself. So that would be my other argument is if you are going to hire an ad agency, you should be able to get better results than you could even do yourself.
Yeah. In a lot of cases, that's correct. There's so many times where I've seen $1,500 a month agencies that are just trash. But yes, you become a better agency buyer if you understand the basic level of what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's the other side too.
And I even heard guys like Tommy Mello, right? He's well over $200 million company now. And he's like, I have several agencies and I have to cycle through them because they do really well. And then they start fading off. Right. So, and then there's always something a little new. How Okay, here's a question for you. How often are you seeing like a new trend? So if I make those 3 to 5 content videos, right, and we find a winner, how often am I going to have to keep going back and doing that? Because it seems like you hear guys like Fred Zimmerman talk about algorithms and like Google's changing and Facebook is changing and TikTok is changing and YouTube. So how often am I going to have to like stay on top of that? And
it depends on how much you spend. So it's like, so if you think about the way Facebook works, is like you set up a campaign, you put a little radius of like where you want the ads to go, and it'll say your estimated audience is 100,000 people. It's 200,000 people. And so then if you're, not to get like too in the weeds, but it's like if your CPMs are $100, it means you spend $100 to reach 1,000 people, right? That's what that means. So I reach, 1% of that 100,000 for $100. That's like easy math, right? Yep. And so the only time you need to make new ads is now with the current 2025 version of the algorithm is when your creative fatigues. And what it means by fatigues is like people have seen your creative over and over and over and over again. So like I'm super transparent about all of this. Home Service Accelerator spends $1,250 per day on Facebook ads every single day. That creative is nationwide though. We run ads in the US, we run ads in Canada, all that jazz. So like that's the same model, just nationwide virtual product. Same model though. And so like what happens even in there is like eventually my creative fatigues, because I'm reaching tens of thousands of people a day. Eventually there's only so many home service business owners that are going to interact with my stuff. And then you start seeing ad performance decline. And so what you do is like for Christmas season, honestly, like if we're talking just Christmas, you're pretty much going to find the bangers and run them for the whole season in most cases. Yeah. But then like in a home service business, typically we see guys like shuffle creative every 2-3 months most of the time. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So and it takes a day. It takes a day on the job site, maybe to get the content, gather content, maybe a day to edit it.
Not even like most of these guys, like if you get smart about it, you get better at it. Like, dude, most of these guys, like once you understand the concept, just go find like stop editing. Editing is like one of the lowest. Like editing is like truly one of like the lowest, like worst uses of an owner's time, because you can go find a Fiverr editor in Sri Lanka for $45 a video and do it for you. You just give them the raw footage, tell them what you want and go. But like, yeah, if you want to pinch pennies even more, just edit it in CapCut. Like we teach, so like in Home Service Accelerator, we have an entire module that's like teach them how to use CapCut. Like there's like me screen sharing, but a lot of the guys that are bigger are like, I'm just going to go to Fiverr, dude. Like, yeah, I'm just going to go to Fiverr, like just go through it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So like for lights last year, like honestly, I'll show you do you want me to show my ad account?
Yeah, let me see. Let me add a scene and we'll do media, screen share, or see if you can't here. Let me hit cancel. Down there at the bottom, see if you can hit the screen share button. And share that. And then I'll probably have to click on it.
Okay. Yeah. So like, let's go 1 sec.
Yeah. Make sure it doesn't have any, information, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Client information or anything like that on there.
I don't think it does. Yeah. So one of the things people are going to see and they're gonna be like, that's pretty high. So we get like incredible amounts of lead volume, and we only go after like the richest areas, and the area we go after is like the richest area ever. And so this is actually going to be like a really good lesson for everybody. If you want to see like what's a bad agency, like truly like a bad agency, it's the ones that care about cost per lead. So like I shared this at your guys' training. We spent like 10 grand or something like that on Meta last season, and we got back like 118,000 or something like that. So we got like a 10.8 return on ad spend. Yeah. But like within that, the one thing that's going to like jump out to everybody is like, look at my cost per lead. So like, let me pull it up. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. Let me there we go.
Yeah. So look at my cost per lead, $46 a lead, $42 a lead, $49 a lead. But the difference with mine is my lead form has so much friction in it. Like what I mean is like, because we're a little bit different than most markets, I only want the super, super, super high earning zip codes. Like I only want it there. I only want really, really qualified people, because otherwise my salespeople get too busy with bad opportunities. And so for them to submit and become a lead, they're giving us first name, last name, phone number, full address. They are committing before submitting that the minimum is $1,000 before they submit. And so if I didn't have that minimum of like the minimum is $1,000, my cost per lead would be $15, $10.
Oh yeah. And some agencies charge, they're like, oh, you don't have to pay $1,500. How about you just pay me $20 a lead that we get for you?
Yeah.
Right?
And so then And so then so if you look at this is October through November, $8,500 spent. It reached 188,000 people. So like, if you look at like, this is kind of in the weeds, but like maybe somebody gets it. Like our CPMs, because we were shoving so much money down the algorithm's throat, was like, for 1,000 Facebook users reached, it cost me $100 on this campaign, $62 here, and 111 here. But like, you can see when we fatigue, because I bet you these are lower in October. See how they're lower in October?
Yeah.
And so what happens is like, eventually that creative starts to fatigue in November, but like it just kind of evens out. So
is it true that you get diminishing returns when you pump in more money at it?
For sure, but just the top line number's bigger. And so like, yeah, if you're like I've seen, like, it's insane. Like, it's not normal, but like we've had window guys in HSA like hit on their first ad and they're spending $30 a day and they sell like $1,000 job and they sell like a $600 job. And so their ROAS is like, oh, I spent $210 this week and I got back, $4,000. And I'm like, we have to tell them like, dude, this is not going to scale.
That does not work at scale. Yeah, it's not going to scale like that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, that's like, that's
and I would also argue that if you're getting higher than a 10x ROAS, you're not spending enough money. You know what I mean? Like, you want that ROAS to come down.
Yeah. This is actually like,
that's a lot of missed opportunity. You know what I mean?
Well, this is like a great segue. Like, I tweeted this the other day and then a bunch of agencies were all butthurt, but it's just the reality. So like, I tweeted the other day and it was like, okay, like, if you are spending $50 a day on advertising, so I don't care if it's Facebook ads, I don't care if it's yard signs. Like, so let's actually not use Facebook ads. Let's use yard signs. So you bought 100 yard signs, you bought them from Dope. You spent $350, $400 with stakes.
Dopemarketing.com is what he's talking about.
Dave Carroll at Dope Marketing is like one of my favorite people in the world. That company is great. So if you're buying yard signs, don't buy them anywhere else from Dope. So let's say you're spending $400 for 100 yard signs with stakes, single-sided, whatever else. So you put out those 100 yard signs over 2 weeks. So whatever else. And then over the next week or 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, you got back, like, let's just call it easy math. You got $4,000 worth of work. So you spent $400, you got $4,000 back. You got a 10x return on your ad spend for yard signs. What some people do is they just go order 100 again. And I'm like, scale it. Like, you found something that's working, or the other alternative, they go, okay, yard signs are working. Let me go try to make Google pay-per-click work, or let me go try to make Angie work. And I'm like, no. Scale that until it breaks. Like, if you find something that's working, the opportunity cost of testing something else that hasn't been proven yet to you will not supersede you just pouring more gas on that. And so like, we have guys come in and I'm like, oh, you did 100 yard signs last month. What was your return? And they're like, oh, I got $5,000 back. And they're like, maybe I should start Google pay-per-click. And I'm like, no, maybe you should do 200 yard signs and then tell me. And then maybe you get an 8x, but you did 200. So now you got 16,000. And then it's like, okay, if 200 worked, why doesn't 250? And so like, what happens is like a lot of guys try to find the like new marketing unicorn instead of just like scaling to death the thing that works. And so for Facebook, it's the same thing. A lot of guys are like, I want to start with $30 a day. And they run for $30 a day. They run it for 2 weeks. And then they get like a 6x return on ad spend. And then they're like, okay, like $30 again next week. And I'm like, no, raise it to 50. Like, see if that trend keeps going. Like, you gotta pour gas on the fire that's burning. Yeah. And the other thing that, like, I know I'm nerding out, but the other thing too is like, there is a lag to the return on your ad spend on any marketing. So what I mean by that is like, if I'm running Facebook ads in September, I don't judge it on September 31st because we gave out a ton of quotes. And like, some of those quotes, some of that ad spend might not be returned until mid-October. And so a lot of guys kill marketing campaigns too early because they've got like 10 outstanding quotes, 15 outstanding quotes. And then they're like, oh, my ad campaign only got 4x.
Well, and that would be my argument. If you are going to hire an ad agency or do it yourself, commit to the full season.
Oh, 100%.
I wouldn't kill anything at this point over 2 months. Like you're almost not going to get good data in October and November. Like it's almost not good data, or the time that you're starting to get good data, the season's almost over. Right.
Yeah.
But you can, I mean, I can't tell you how many times we've gone through and we start archiving quotes when we raise our pricing. And then all of a sudden everybody contacts us. I can't see my quote anymore. What happened? It's like, you waited too long. But that also told me that, that's come from those results that all started coming in there at the end was from work that I put in a month ago or 2 months earlier. So,
yeah. You know what's funny though? That doesn't happen to us much. Like at all.
You know why? Because you do a really good job at follow-up and I don't.
I don't know. Like maybe I think you and my businesses are pretty similar, but that's one thing I've noticed. Like we really don't resurrect. We do some, but not at the level that I would like. I think the permanent will, like the permanent quotes we gave out all year, that will come around.
Really? I don't know. Are there a lot of other people in your market installing permanent? Like are you coming up against some other companies?
Oh, we have some mammoths in Arizona.
Dude, I have the number one gemstone guy in my market. I come up against him on every single quote. Every single one.
I know who you're referring to. We won't.
We all know him. He's my best buddy, right? And I come up against him on every single quote. So if I don't close that sucker, he's closing them the next day. You know what I mean?
For sure.
He's absolutely closing them the next day. So, and I would also say that, I mean, percentage-wise, I tell you, the people who always irritate me are my repeat customers who wait. Right? Like those are the ones that like we quoted them 2 months ago or something like that. And for whatever reason, they don't click approve.
Yeah, it drives me crazy.
You see that, or have you gotten all your customers signed back up?
So we had our, right before this, I had my manager call. We have like, I think it's 498K scheduled right now, which is still very low. Cause if we did 800,000 last year, that means 300,000 is still outstanding. Now we lost a few whales. Like we lost a whale to like moving to state. We lost a whale to like, oh, we're Christmasing in Big Fish, Montana or Whitefish, Montana. I'm like, okay, well, that sucks, So no lights this year, but like, like we have that a
$30,000 residential said goodbye.
Yeah.
That's how you knew you had a $30,000 residential, because it's been burning in the back of your head.
One of our whales did. I have to ask Kyle which one, but one of our whales did leave and it hurt. Because it's like the equivalent of selling 10 residential, which like sucks. But yeah, like for the most part, like it's not like we'll probably like we pretty much know by now that we have like another 150 to 175 that just like we could bother them and try to pull the rug from them all day long. Like,
November.
Play hardball with them all day long, and then it'll be November 15th, and we've been telling them like all of October, like if you don't get your deposit in, you're not coming. Like and then November 15th comes in, and it's a $5,000 job. And we're like, we'll find a spot for you.
I had one that I was so mad. This is why Lauren does better on the phones than me. And we were telling them like pay the deposit. We even did something like we reached back out to them at the time of takedown, and we're like, hey, sign back up. So 2025 takedown, we'll sign 20% back up for 2026 installs, right? And I had a guy, the largest residential house that we've ever done. It was like 4 stories in the front. Okay. Like huge, massive house. And he was like, you're going to take a deposit like 10 months early? I've run a business my entire and I would never do that. That's a horrible way of running business. And we go, hey, no big deal. This is just for some people. It helps them on budgeting, right? And they lock in a date and everything else. He was the dude that contacted us like November 15th saying, hey, I want to do all this stuff. And I told Lauren, I said, tell them no on principle. Tell them we're booked. Don't do it. But it's like just like burn them, like flush them down the toilet on principle. Let him try to find somebody to do that does as good of a job as us. And Lauren's a better business owner than I am. So she got him on the schedule. We didn't do everything, and then he went with us one more year, and then he found somebody else. So.
It's everybody's got like every owner's got principal until a $30,000, $40,000 job's like playing hardball, and then you'll humble yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. What would you like for me to do right now?
You want me to shine your shoes too? Yeah. You want me to deliver you some food? Yeah. Like, we all, I even do it. Like I even laugh with my team about it. There's a few that I'm like, tell him to kick rocks. I'm sick of this. And then I'm like, November comes and I'm like, oh, come home, please, come home.
Please. Okay, so now for the soundbite, worst Christmas light customer ever that you've had.
Oh, it's
Worst
a no-brainer. I'll even say his name.
No brainer. No.
Yeah.
I was going to say you don't have to say his name.
Oh, I'll say his name. Ray Garcia. Big, massive commercial builder in Scottsdale, built like golf course houses all day long, has owed me a $3,800 invoice since I was like 24 years old, which was, or 25 years old, which was 5 years ago. Like he stiffed me on an invoice my first or second year where like I really needed it. Ray Garcia, I will say his name from the rooftops. Like he's a builder. You look him up, you can see that he has screwed other people subs on his building jobs. And I drove by his house the other day to try to collect in person, and he moved. And I bet he had to fast sell that house. But yeah, that's the worst one. The worst one because he finessed me out of the deposit because he knew what he was going to do to you. He screwed me in his second year. So we took 50% deposit the first year, did the job, did all these trees, did a bunch of other stuff. Did it the second year. He was like, hey, I'm going to cash app you. And we were like desperate for work because we were still like a newer business. And he was like, I'm going to cash app you. Just send your guys out. And so I was like, all right, screw it. He's good for it. It's the second year. Told me for like 3 months, like, oh, the check's on the way. Never sent it. It's now been 4 or 5 years. Still haven't gotten it. And like, the weird thing about it is, and like the reason I tell this story is like that dude let me and one of my employees in his living room, and we like sat with his wife and him that first year. Like we helped them. We helped them put up their indoor Christmas tree for like no cost, or like maybe he tipped us like $100 or whatever. Like, dude, that dude is such a scumbag. Like I've thought about making social media posts like in Scottsdale, like calling him out, but I'm like, whatever. Like it looks
you and I,
we're out on the live for sure.
Yeah, I can't soundbite that. That was too personal. I can't put that out there.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize you said soundbite, but I don't care. You can put the soundbite out. I don't care. There was,
I got a guy back when I had a construction company. I was doing, handyman repairs or I'll build you a deck or I'll put an addition. I'll do anything. I needed, load all my tools up in the back of the truck. Haven't even bought a trailer yet, right? And he's a motivational speaker. I'm not going to say his name because he is a good guy. I think he's helped more people than he's burned. But change order came and I did the change order for free. And I was just like, hey, can I get, the first draw on this, and we were supposed to replace the siding and then paint and all of a sudden I was like, hey, you added on the she shed and you added on this and you added, like, I've done all these things. And, I basically charge you costs. I said, but can I go ahead and get first draw? Crickets. And that $1,800, I needed it, man. You know what I mean? Like, I remember being out there, like just pouring down rain, replacing boards, like, because I'm like, dude, it's Thursday. I need to get this draw on Friday. Cause like how, you know what I mean? Like I needed it. And he's burned me to this day. Yeah. But he still goes on stage, in front of thousands and thousands of people and helps them do their thing. So.
Yeah. And the other thing too, is like, dude, I've noticed like some of these like boomer, like dudes who like, whatever else, they're typically in the 50s, 60s, 70 range that like act like that. They almost get off on doing it to like a young guy. Like because he knew that. Yeah, because they can. Like he knows he knew I didn't have like the lawyers. Like I wasn't going to do anything. And like, dude, like the fact that I sat in the dude's living room and he was like asking me about growing my business is just so scummy, dude. So scummy. Yeah. But yeah.
I always say it comes out in the wash work. You know what I mean? Like you can only fool somebody for so long, and that's, and then eventually it's going to come out. It'll come back to them. And I am in a position now. Somebody could take that from me and I wouldn't even notice. You know what I mean? So I've overcome that. I'm telling you, man, I couldn't share that for a long time because I'm like, man, I'll go to jail thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like,
So the invoice is from, I think, 2021. I still text him the jobber payment link. I did it like 2 days ago. Like I still text, you have an outstanding bill. I threatened legal action. He knows him.
Been there, done that. I think I will say though, I do love jobber because I used to do it all with like paper, and I always had $10,000 outstanding. And that's when my average ticket was like less than $100. This is before I was doing Christmas lights. Right. And then, Jobber makes it so easy to collect payment. You put that card on file. And now I've just like, there's an absolute, even commercial jobs. It's like, it is not on the schedule till I get a 50% deposit. Oh, we don't do that. We don't do. Okay, find another company. There's plenty of them out there. I know, I've trained them, right? But yeah, it does not exist. The job's not approved. It doesn't get on the schedule until we get a 50% deposit. So
yeah, there's like, it's definitely like, it gets easier at this size, but like, man, it hurts. It hurts in the beginning.
I will still like, but here's the difference now. Now I will spend $2,000 to collect 200. You know what I mean? Like I will now. Like,
will you like send a demand letter or something?
Well, okay. So here's my best piece of advice. The moment somebody, I believe it's called levelset.com. They do like liens and stuff like that. They work with construction companies or whatever. But all you have to do is send them a certified letter that is here's a letter of my rights as a business owner to lien. And people get that and they're like, oh, whoa. You know what I mean? Like it's not even an intent to lien. It's here's a certified letter saying these are my rights as a business owner. And there you go. My worst one was these guys, we doubled their price because I didn't want to work with them, but I just didn't want to say no. So we doubled it and they still approved it. And I was so upset when I saw that. And I was like, what do you mean that they approved? And they were jerking my chain, extra work. They were the complainers, the this, the that, and they started jerking me around on the payment and this and that. And I went there myself on the touch up and I said, here's the thing. I'm coming out there tomorrow. I'm going to fix it and we're 100% done, but you're going to pay me on the spot. Okay. I was like, you're paying me tomorrow. I'm coming out here. I will make it perfect. And you need to be home. And I said, I promise you, if you do not pay me before I step off your property, I'm going directly to the sheriff's office and filing theft of service charges on you. All right. So I'm going to answer, and then he sent his partner out there to answer the door instead of him. And I was like, look, I'm not threatening you, but he's playing games and he doesn't understand. Like I will literally go file them and then I will be out here tomorrow and yank all this down. I will go to small claims court. Like I will talk to all of your neighbors and let them know. Like we're
a seasonal business, baby. We're a seasonal business. I got nothing but time in January,
man. And I was just like, look, I'm leaving right now. He doesn't have to come out and hand the check to me, but I'm telling you, I am driving to the sheriff's office first thing tomorrow morning. And before I even made it home, there's a little notification in Jobber. And I just said, thank you, God. I really didn't want you know what I mean? I didn't want that out there, but golly, people will absolutely do that. So my advice to brand new people is you don't have to go through what Steve and I went through. Okay. Require a 50% deposit. Okay. Require a 10% deposit or whatever your cost is on that job.
50. Yeah. 50. Do not take 10.
Yeah. I agree. But deposit. Okay. You should be able to cover your expenses for getting your materials, getting out there, getting it installed. And then at the time of install is when the remaining 50% is due. I do give them 24, 48 hours specifically with Jobber, because if they go on there, they can leave a tip for the guys. Like if they haven't tipped the guys. So I do give them 24, 48 hours after install to that final payment. And then I'm running their credit card. But on every quote, it's required, that they have to pay that 50% deposit to approve the quote. Let's try to go to a different path, man. You and I went dark there for a minute, or at least I did. But we got some questions that popped up in here. Hey guys, everybody that's watching right now, please help Steve and I get happier and help y'all. So put some comments in the comment section. Put some questions in there. What can we help you out with? All right. Second year, you hire college guys or roofers and general labor. Best kind of employee you've hired.
You want me to go first?
Take this one.
Yeah, dude, I got some sauce for this one. So if you have a Christian college near you and you want if you don't have the schedule to go get a bunch of full-timers, which most Christmas light businesses don't, you can get Christian college weight room bros. So go find the Christian college near you, go find the rec center and see if you can put some flyers there or whatever. Just get creative. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. That's just, it sounds like a crazy task, dude. For year 2 through 5, we had 80% of our staff was weight room college bros. Cause once you get 1 or 2 of them, you give them $100 a head to bring their friends to you. It's cheaper than what you'll spend on Indeed. And they just bring you the fellas. And most of them have Tuesday, Thursday class schedules or Monday, Wednesday class schedules or something like that. And so you just fill in. And so like the majority of our workforce was part-time. This year, because our install season was so long and we have the permanent business now on top of it, we went really hard on Indeed and like found grown ass men. Like we have like mostly full-time guys with like a lot of Scott
responsibility.
Yeah, I'm reading a funny comment. But like it'll come up eventually. Do not put it on
it'll come up.
Do not put it on the main screen. But yeah, like, and so then like now we still have a ton of college kids, but then we have that like baseline of like 5 days a week guys we can just lean on. But like hiring is just like advertising, and like the person who does the most amount of volume wins. And so what happens is like the biggest crock of BS ever is the line that like a lot of angry boomers who have been in a truck their entire careers and never hired anybody say like, oh, nobody wants to work anymore.
Nobody wants to work these days. No, nobody wants to work for you.
No one wants to work for you because you're an ass. And so like typically it comes down to like, if you pay them peanuts, you're going to get peanuts results. If you don't ask them like what their reason for making more money is, like, is it you want to take your wife to whatever? How can we help you fund this? And then also like, do you grow? Like, do you want to grow into a management role? As the bigger this business gets, the bigger your paycheck gets, all that. And so like, but going back to the volume thing, like we probably got 200 applications for the install roles, probably about 100 for the sales roles. The 100 sales applications, like absolutely like 80 of them were complete trash. Like complete trash. And then like, but the difference is you don't interview one and be like, oh, found them. You interview like so much volume that it becomes like it becomes improbable for you to not find somebody good. Yeah. The difference is like guys interview 5 people and they're like, oh, well, no one wants to work. It's like, yeah, dude. Like if they're looking for a job, the baseline chance is they probably look for jobs a lot. So you got to get really lucky to find people at the right time, whatever else.
Have you had good luck with people that are like leaving a job to come work for you, or are they like unemployed?
So I've hired,
they want a job.
Yeah, I hired one of like Aaron's ex-employees before I knew Aaron. Shout out to CLD. Like now we're buddies, but like I hired one of his ex-employees. I didn't even know who they were. So he was like experienced. So we were like, that's going to be easy. Didn't work out. Not going to go into details. Didn't work out the way we would have liked. Same reason it probably didn't work out with Aaron. And then like outside of that, like this new crop of full-timers, we hire in waves. So we brought on 4 salespeople, 22 installers, something like that, week 1. And then we have another hiring class, like in another month of more installers that kind of like phase in. But of that 20, 3 people have already gotten rid of. We've already gotten rid of, or they've gotten rid of themselves in the first 10 install days.
Yep. No, absolutely. Do you interview over Zoom or do you do it in person?
We get the inbound. We get our process. We get the inbound applications. Natalie, my like ops, like office guru, like sifts through them, sets up phone screens with Jack, and then phone screens with Kyle. And then if they're good enough on the phone screen, we invite them to the like big orientation first meeting. And then like, it's kind of funny. It's Christmas. Like some people might laugh at like how little friction we have. I feel like if they show up to the phone screen on time, they show up on time to the orientation, they actually bring their documents to the orientation, you sell the dream on the orientation, you give them one more chance to bail, and then their first day is that following Monday and they show up on time there, that's enough friction for me interviewing.
I agree. I mean, I'm looking for very basic things, right? I'm looking that they can communicate, right? That they're not a jerk. You know what I mean? Like I want to be able to hang out with them. I'd be willing to hang out with them that day, right? So they can communicate, and if they're running late, all you gotta do is text me, right? Like that. Hey, you're running a little late. No, fine. Can you text me and let me know, right? So many people can't do that. And then, do they have transportation, right? Like you got to be able to get to work, right? You can't live 45 minutes away. Like that's part of the initial, inbound process. If I look at their address and it's an hour away, I'm not gonna interview, little things like that. And
I'm not 100%. But I'm pretty sure that's it.
What are you laughing about over there? I'm just laughing at you.
Isn't
but
that illegal? Like to not hire somebody because of where they're located? Like if they have the means to get to work, like can't you not hire? Can't you not make that decision as an employer?
I'm gonna. I mean, I'm just not gonna do it. Just like if you're a smoker, I'm not gonna hire you either. Okay, like I just don't care. I'm not gonna do it.
Dude, this is funny. Maybe I'm wrong.
You know, like, look, if you are an hour away, you will show. Like, here's what will happen. Okay, um, if you're an hour away, you're gonna show up to work on time for a week, maybe 2 weeks, but then you're gonna get that first paycheck or that second paycheck,
You're not
and
wrong.
then you're gonna be late.
You're not wrong.
Oh,
That's like
and it's also, it costs you $20 more a day for you to get to work than it does a guy who lives 10 minutes away. You know what I mean? Like, it costs them more money. So what am I going to do? Pay them more money, or they're automatically going to bring home less money? So I'm just not going to do it. If I look at an application and one person lives an hour away and one person lives 10 minutes away, I'm going to fill up my schedule with the people that are closer.
I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. I just found that so funny. If I'm right, that is so funny.
Look, and I if you guys want to talk to me one-on-one, I will tell you a whole list of other things that I look at that application and I judge the crap out of people.
See, this is why I have Natalie.
Right?
Natalie,
like, so you've worked, so you like, I got so much experience in customer service, and it's only 3 months. Like every 3 months, you have a new customer service gig or a new entry-level gig.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? When somebody's like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes on that phone interview. I'll do whatever it takes. I'm like, I don't want somebody that's willing to do whatever it takes. I don't want anybody that's going to do any job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to attract the best of the best and the highest quality. And it's like, no, look, I could go and do anything, right? I could go work any labor job, and I want to work for NC Christmas Lights. I don't want the dude that's like, I'll do whatever it takes. I just need a job. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want you. When I was first starting out, those would be the type of people I'd hire. And there's a reason that they don't have a job.
Yeah. In a lot of cases, you're right. That's why I like having Natalie. Natalie, my absolute like stud ops, like back end ops girl. She's like excellent.
Yeah. You just like being one level removed, so you can be like, Natalie, don't hire people an hour away. That's what Donovan said. I can't do that.
Natalie's
it's one removed.
Amazon. Like she knows like very much what's like. Well, no, she knows like what's compliant and what's not for sure. So.
Oh yeah, I don't care about what's compliant or what's not. Tony, hey Tony, all I can say is thank you for the extra money. It sucks for you, but thanks for the extra money. I appreciate you paying a higher rate for materials.
That's insane. That's literally insane.
No, dude, Tony, if you just placed an order or something and something just went on sale, all you gotta do is contact customer service. We'll honor the sale price, man. Like we don't need a couple of bucks from you. Sorry that happened. We just, sometimes we do sales. We're planning on it October 1st. I will say this, guys like Steve Hunsaker knew that certain items were going on sale, and he was supposed to promote it out to his community. So if you were part of HSA and you didn't know about a sale, like sometimes HSA gets sale prices.
Oh, dude, HSA members get some wild stuff. We've got CLC stuff. We've got dope marketing stuff. CLC, all of our HSA people just got I actually can't say what they just got publicly, but they got tickets to a very expensive home service event for free. It's like $1,500 for free. Yeah. So they get some perks. What is
they get perks.
Someone asked us about Snipe Elite and GHL. Did you see that one? Oh,
I will.
Okay.
We'll start knocking these out pretty quick. All right. What's your daily budget for permanent lighting? Are you pushing it further during season versus out of season? I'll answer this and then you will. My budget is, $50, $100 a day. I'm not pushing it a whole lot. But I will say, like, as of getting into October, my return has started going up and up and up. So the second part of that is influencing my budget, right? So obviously Q4 is officially hit. So our budget will keep going up until we get those diminishing returns right now. I'd assume
we're spending
about
100 a day.
But what do you think
right now on the perm? So
yeah.
But I mean, we just closed a $7,800 perm job like 2 days after running the ads. So
Yeah. And I just closed like a, $14,000 perm job like one day after closing the ad.
Yeah,
So I got them
yeah.
beat. You got
The
some work to do.
perm,
Suck
the
that, Jack.
the perm is like, it is so much easier to make pencil. Like it's easier than temp.
Well, okay. So let's talk permanent lighting real quick because you install mainly in permanent lighting. Obviously I install mainly in permanent lighting. Are you guys, and I've talked with Jack a little bit about this, but what's going to be your, I'm going to install temporary, close the job, and then come back later, install permanent. Or I'm going to put the permanent up with the temporary clip, or I'm going to do the C9 permanent, not the pebble with the track. Like, what have you thought about that? Like, have you had a high level manager conversation?
So we have, the really
decision?
interesting thing about Arizona is we tried to cannibalize our book for perm, and most of our customers like weren't interested. So one of the things we noticed is like the perm customer is a little bit different. Like it's a little bit different profile. Like a lot of our temporary customers are very like sprawler, massive, fancy homes. They want them up, they want them down. Yeah. A lot of it, we do obviously roof lines a lot, but like we have probably, if I had to guess, 30-40% of our jobs don't even have roof lines. It's like all tree work and like whatever else. And so like I just had the conversation with Jack because Jack and I are 50-50 on the permanent business. And I just told him like, dude, every temporary job you go out to, just sell them permanent because like, we'll always be able to get the tree work, the bush work, everything else. But like, I want to grow the permanent just because I think it's like, it's a lot more rigid and like the process of the permanent's a lot better.
Okay. So here's an idea for you. Test it out. I'm testing it out. Every quote gets a upsell line item for permanent. It's an optional line item at the bottom, right? So if I'm selling temporary at $10 a foot, then just at the bottom is a $30 a foot. Hey, upgrade this to permanent lighting after the season's, or something like that. So I know I'm going to get $40 a foot essentially for that job. As complicated as I run into out there or whatever, if you're selling at $45 or $50, do the difference between the two and put that on every single quote. Is that
not until now, but yeah. Usually it's just like on the sales process in person, but that sounds even better.
Okay. Yeah. I like it because right now we're doing like, hey, sign up for Halloween. You know what I mean? Like get Halloween lights and that's like $500 or whatever. So that's like $3-4 a foot upgrade or something. But I think we're just going to start putting it at the bottom of literally every single quote. I'm going to say, hey, $30 a foot is the upsell price. And so we'll guarantee you lights by Christmas. And then we'll come back and we can install the roof line permanent. So here was the question. There we go. Right there. What's the difference between Snipey leads and just regular Go High Level?
Snipey lead is Go High Level. Go High Level is Snipey lead. So the only difference is like, if you go to gohighlevel.com, you're going to pay $100 a month for like one user and you're going to have like just a blank canvas, no automations, no whatever. Snipey lead is literally just every one of my automations put in a box for the same price as Go High Level. So Snipey lead is just like when I talk about like when a lead comes in and they get the text notification that says, hey, it's Steve with Valley Christmas Lights. We saw, blah, 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 blah. They get the text notification, the call connect, the voicemail drop, the second text, the third text. That's just like all home service automations already pre-built. So we have like built out automations for pressure washers. We have built out automations for Christmas light businesses, window cleaners, HVAC, tree guys. So like Snipey lead just is the white labeled version of Go High Level, but it's the same price.
Yeah, and this would be a good time to plug. Guys, if you are interested in getting more information, I know we're going a little bit over an hour here. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. We're going to keep answering questions. How are you looking on time, Steve? You got okay. So we're going to keep answering questions, but if you guys want more information about Home Service Accelerator, which is his
not coaching,
it's not coaching. It's more. It's not. It's more training, I would say, than coaching. Right? It's not somebody that's just like a group call every week, right? That's what I would put in the coaching category. But if you're interested in Home Service Accelerator, get more information about Snipey Lead, anything like that, go to the landing page. You get a lot more information right there. Just scan that QR code.
Yeah, there's a coaching component, and I guess there's like a course component as well. Like, I just want to preface it. Like, I don't ever call it coaching because like one, if you need somebody to coach you, like to be motivated, then please do not call me ever. Like, I don't want to motivate you, whatever. I don't want my team to have to motivate you. This is just like actionable stuff that's like put in a box nicely. You just implement into your business from a marketing and sales perspective. That's it. So that's all it is. So I don't like coach it. We always say like coaching and course is the real C words. Like no coaching, no course. There's those components of it, but like it's pretty hands-on. Like when people join, we go one-on-one with them and build a campaign with them. So it's pretty hands-on.
Yep. I've heard that you guys like kind of hold people a little bit accountable on the campaign side.
It's true in the sense of like if somebody gets in the Discord and they're like, my ads aren't working, and I go into your account and I see you've tried one creative and like not followed the instructions, I will tell you in the Discord, like no one, like I'm not looking at that. Like you got to follow, like got to do what we said. Like, you know, we've been working with, Jeremy just commented, Jeremy's in it. Says best investment you can make, so much value. That's a bar. That's a Home Source Accelerator member right there. I love that.
You know what's the next bar? You know what the next bar that I see is?
Yeah. He owes me $3,400.
He owes me $3,400.
Dude, I kind of want to share my jobber and just like show everybody me collecting on him again. I sent him the text.
Oh God, just his account. Just show just do the delinquent account and I'll pop it up on the screen. You can get that ready and I'll answer this right here. What's the area? Do it. Let's all leave him a bad review. Let's be those people.
He deserves it.
I'm sorry. I can't do that. I will say this, like, look, I don't let other people's problems become my problems. So it sucks for you, Steve. I've run across it myself, but you know, Ray will get what's coming to him, but I'm not going to leave him a bad review or call him or pee on his doorstep or anything like that. Brian is asking, what CRM you guys using for your leads? I have Jobber, but it doesn't handle leads very well.
He is so right.
I use Jobber.
He's so right.
Yeah.
Donovan, do you only use Jobber? Like you don't have any like automation to like book appointments or anything like that? Dude, it's insane.
I'm not going to do anything myself.
You're doing more yourself without something on top of it.
Here's what you should do, Steve, okay? You should come into my business and pay one of your people to just automate everything, do it for me, and then be like, Donovan's been in business for since 2018. I came in here and helped him get to $20 million in Christmas light install in 1 year.
No-brainer.
So I could be your best case study. All you have to do is
it's actually not that much work. But let me devil's advocate you. So you get, how many leads did you get today? Okay, you got 20 leads. 20, walk me through what happened every time those leads came in. Yeah. So I'll tell you what's happening. Your office is calling them. They've got a big Excel sheet. Maybe they're in Jobber. They're calling them. They're hoping the people answer. And then they're hanging up and they're calling the next person, hoping they answer. And they're calling the next person. And then the next day, 20 more leads come in. So now you're going back and you're like, oh, I hope we follow up with all of them. Yeah, exactly. Dude, you were probably leaking. Oh my gosh, you're probably leaking stuff. Bro, you might be, dude, with your perm business, you might be actually leaking like a good 6 figures.
Okay. I know I am.
Okay, so here's how it works. So lead comes in on my website. Lead comes in from a Facebook ad. Lead comes in from a Google pay-per-click. Or lead comes in when they're on the phone with my receptionist and my receptionist puts in their info manually. It comes into the system. It instantly goes, and right when that lead comes in, it goes into a little sales pipeline where it's like new lead, whatever. And then an automation starts. And so the automation is like the second that lead comes in, my sales team's phone rings. They answer their cell phone. They say, the robot says, you have a new Christmas lead, press 2 to get connected. Salesperson presses 2. It instantly calls that prospect. With the second, what's the first thing the prospect says? Oh my gosh, you guys are fast, right? Yeah, if you answer, boom,
you're so fast.
Barbecue chicken from there. Or what mostly happens, they don't answer. If they don't answer, the system sees that, drops them a voicemail that says, hey, this is Steve with Valley Christmas Lights. Saw you reached out for a quote. I'm going to shoot you a text. Feel free to call me back here or reply to my text. We can get you going on your estimate. Text message drops after the voicemail, and then they get dripped for 3 days until they respond. The second they respond, the automation stops. So if they respond to, dude, like Jack just commented, Jack's in this chat. We had like a $5,000 perm job that we sold in like May, where like no one was buying perm. Like May's like one of the worst months, I guess. And they didn't respond till the 5th SMS in that nurture. And then they were like, so we like put them through like 3 or 4 days of hell. Like voicemail drop, call, text message. on like the fourth one, we're like the last one is we say something like, hey, like, we don't want to keep bothering you. Is this something you want to do? She responds, yes, please come out for a quote. Jack closes it for like $5,000. Like, that's like a very real touch point. And so if you think about a Christmas light business, if you're not following up, because the second they respond to that nurture, if they say, yeah, I want a quote, they get moved to this list that's hot leads. And so when you get it, when your office gets in the next day, they know who to call first instead of your massive 20 to 200 person lead list that you've been trying to call every day.
Yeah. And I you know, one thing that frustrates me is I look in there and I'm just like 350 like awaiting response quotes. Dude, you know what I mean? Like, oh gosh, let's see what sort of follow. Let's see what sort of follow up we have. And I go on the notes section. I'm like 0 follow up.
Dude, you're legitimately missing out on.
Oh man, dude, I can write the book how idiots can.
But it's also kind of cool, right? Like that you're massive without it. Like, I think that's kind of cool too.
Look, my one claim to fame is I know how to get the phone to ring. You know what I mean? Like, it really is sheer volume. And then for me, it's customer experience. Like, once they pay, customer experience, right? You know, have a really good customer experience with them. And, you know, they want to refer.
Was it Bezos? Was it Bezos? That is he the sales masks a lot of problems? Like, yeah, like it's like sales makes an organization ignore a lot of problems.
Hides broken systems and you know, so it's like, you know, imagine here's where Steve could like destroy me. If we both only got 100 leads that came in, who do you think is going to close more, me or Steve? Steve, 100%. You know what I mean? If you and I mean,
dude, if you're going out in person talking about dogs, I've seen you talk to people about their dogs. I don't know, man.
I closed one today. No. I closed one last week. The guys did the permanent lighting job today. I literally had her get a leash out and I was training her dog. She was like,
yeah, dude, I can't compete with that.
Look. She's asking me about behavioral stuff. And I'm like, I don't know how to teach a dog to stop barking. I'm teaching my dogs to bark and to bite people. I don't know how to get them to stop doing these things.
But you got the job. But you got the job. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Okay. So 100 leads where there's cats and not dogs. Steve is going to destroy me. I mean, you know,
I would probably just off of sheer systems, probably.
Yeah. And that's the point, right? I mean, and again, 2018, you know, very good brand in terms of like web presence, right? Very good. People referred me out, you know, just a lot of jobs. They're seeing it. Like just the other thing that's very tough to compete against, right, is if you're going to come into my marketplace, and there's a lot of people, there's probably 100 installers now in my one market, my main market. You know, how do you compete against me? The way that you compete against an established business is everything that Steve is talking about. Right? Oh, yeah. I mean, literally, you do everything that Steve is talking about, and the dinosaurs will get eaten. You want me to prove that? Christmas light contractors. Okay. How long has Christmas light contractors been in business? And I think we are one of the largest, definitely top that you can count on your own hand. Okay. Of distribution companies. And there's companies that have been around, right, for 20, 30 years now. And we have eaten their lunch. Right.
Yeah. You guys scrapped. You scrapped early.
Right. You know, and you know, you got to build some systems, man. Yeah. So Clark is saying, find friends who are firefighters and ask them if they have friends who are firefighters. That's absolutely. You're willing to pay them $35 an hour. They work 24 hours and they get 48 off. I mean, great. They're good on a ladder. They all own their own trucks. So you can also just pay them as a 1099. Hey, sign up for your own insurance and you can do it that way, or you just keep them busy. Absolutely. I love me some firefighters.
Yeah. Firefighters be good.
Tony said I ordered last week and got delivery today. I'm just telling you, just reach out to chat or find Fred. Fred loves giving people discounts. Like, don't reach out to me.
Get that bread back, Tony.
Bro, look, I got 4 kids. I got to feed my family. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to give you a discount, but if you reach out to Fred, you know, he's the man that like went on mission trips for 10 months out of the year and then hung lights for 2 months. Like, he will bankrupt our company to help you out. You know,
Fred's been doing the Lord's work, baby. Doing the Lord's work.
I'm joking. I'm joking around, but seriously, man, like, you know, like seriously, reach out and we will honor that price. We'll just get you a gift certificate or whatever and just tack it onto your next order, man. It's not that big of a deal. The only way that we would not do that is, let's say it's in November and like we're running out of materials and the next batch of things we have to air freight in. Like that right there is, look, our expenses went way up. But if we're just running like a preseason sale or just like we had a sale scheduled, we're going to honor that, man. Like we're not going to do anything to upset you. We're that couple of bucks, like I'd rather you have it and put it towards marketing and get that phone to ring. Then you'll need to buy more materials and it'll all work out. Yeah, just reach out to customer service.
I like that.
How hard do you pre-qualify permanent leads? I would imagine that I pre-qualify a lot harder than Steve because I do not have the salespeople that he has, right? So in my opinion, for permanent lighting, you need to go out there in person. I only got so much room for my sales guys to go out there. So we are pre-qualifying the heck out of these people versus if I had a whole army of salespeople, I would just mainly be like, okay, do they live in a house that I know that they can afford it just by like either the location or looking at, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you contact me one-on-one, if I can't even say that on the live, there's another thing that I do specifically look at in terms of like, there are certain things that I do look at where I say, I'm not going out there in person. Right. And that's if they live in like a house, that's not my typical house.
Okay.
I know that they're not going to pay me $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I'm just going to send them the quote online. Okay. But my close rate on that is very low. So that's not really a pre-qualify. It's just, hey, here's the price to do it. You know what I mean? But everybody that's in a job that I know that they can afford it, based upon the house that they live in, those right there were booking in-person assessments.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we actually, funny enough, like I just wanted to try to get my sales guys cleaner leads and I bumped up to like saying our minimum was like $14.99 and it killed lead conversion on perm. So is that there's a dance to it. I think the number's got to be like $9.97, like just in case, because you still want to convert. But yeah, it'll change.
Yep. Do you guys do installs only for permanent lights? No, we both do permanent lights and we both do seasonal lights.
Yeah, I just got into permanent this year. So
same. I mean, yeah. I've been around it, but I just only started really my install business. I didn't really touch it before this past year. I did a little bit of commercial leasing last season. And then I got into selling and doing it year round. This is my first full year. And we've done 100 grand. We haven't done a whole lot, but hey, that's 100 grand in the off season, which is great. And then now we're like closing that, you know what I mean? And like, like I've done a whole 100 grand, like starting out from January all the way through like August was like 100 grand. And then like September is like poof, you get that in the month of September, and then we'll start getting it in a week, and then we'll start closing that in like every couple of days. So I fully see it as like Q4. We've been preparing the entire year. We've been preparing for Q4. So
that makes sense.
For sniper leasing, I kind of like that sniper leasing.
Yeah, you can make changes. So like there's a baseline, like baseline automations, and then we have like I pay a go high level expert to get on a call once a week for an hour, and she'll like fix any automations or build any automations for people that are in HSA. So
here's another shout out for Steve right here. So tell everybody a little bit about Jeremy.
Oh, Jeremy's one of my favorite HSA people. Jeremy has a install business with a partner on the Christmas light stuff, and he'd hired a bunch of agencies in the past, and I'd met him at a bunch of your events actually, and just kind of became friends. And then eventually he had bought some other like agency coaches thing that I don't know if he loved or not. It's not my place to talk about, but clearly not enough.
But he loves yours.
But he joined ours. Yeah. And he gets good results. We fixed a lot of stuff. And Jeremy's a really good entrepreneur though. So like he didn't really need that much stuff. It was just like a few systems that you plug in. And
that's the thing that's like, I always say this. I mean, if you're looking for coaching or something like that to get you started, like honestly, HSA might not be for you.
Oh, don't. Like if you've never hung a light, do not join.
Yeah. Like, look, check out, here we go. Like, look, check out clcuniversity.com. It's $99. It's all the how-to stuff. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like A to Z, all the how-to stuff, and it's all organized. Or go onto YouTube and it's all scattered all over the place, right? This is just organized. Honestly, binge watch it. okay, and then just cancel. So for $99, you can get all the basic stuff, whatever. When you are ready to pour gasoline on the bonfire, this right here, okay, Home Service Accelerator. Go on here, check it out. And even if, like, again, even if you hire, like me, you hire agencies to do your advertising and stuff like that, this will educate you on metrics and what to look for and give them ideas and hold them accountable. You will absolutely get value out of it. So that's my advice for you. Those are my shameless plugs right there.
Yeah. You know what's wild,
Donovan?
Look,
look, man. All right. Look, DJ's my buddy. All right. Just like Jason's my buddy. Just because Jason's working for another distributor now. Look, I mean, I'm not going to make my kids pick which parent they want to see in the divorce. So DJ, man, it is an open door invitation. You can come hang out anytime. And y'all be surprised. Like, look, you guys don't see me and Jason on lives together. That's just business, right? But we are friendly. We talk to each other. There's no time that we'll hop on the phone. We'll be on the phone for an hour. You know what I mean? Just talking, catching up, talking about family and everything else. So, dude, I'd love to see you. Love to come hang out, and I wish you nothing but the best. Absolutely nothing but the best.
Me too, DJ. Even though I don't know if I've ever met you. Yeah, Dylan says Jobber just added lead funnels as a feature. There's a lot more flexibility and Go High Level. Look, everybody's got their own business. Like, yeah, do whatever you want. I'm not sitting here telling you got to sign up for something. I'm just like, everything in Home Service Accelerator and Snipey Lead is literally, I built it for myself first and then packaged it once it worked for everybody else. That's all it is. So Jobber might, but man, Jobber's new integration sucks.
All right. So we are not giving out phone numbers, and that is simply because quite simply, we'll miss all the calls and all the text messages. Like, I mean, I can't tell you how many Facebook messages and Instagram, and I got messages on Instagram. I'm never on Instagram. I don't know how people message me on Instagram, okay, and TikTok and everything. Like, Fred is on TikTok, not me, guys. So here's the thing, though. There is a system put up in place right here. This is how you get in touch with them. And so just like me on essentially, okay, yeah, here we go right here. This is what that looks like. All right. And this is what it's going to bring you out to. There's more information on the page. It's going to help you make a decision. He's going to have people. And then inside of his platform, this is like the Christmas Light Contractor Facebook. For me, the Facebook group, I don't have time to be in any other group or whatever, but when I have time, I jump on there. Just like Steve said, his first year, he was in a challenge. He made a post in the group and I responded within a few seconds. This is the equivalent of that for Steve, right? He has his own group where all of his free time, he spends in there and helps people whenever he can, but he also has systems set up in place. If he can't do it himself, you can at least get these resources, and it doesn't have to be a phone call with Steve.
Yeah, and there's also like, dude, there's probably we're pushing like there's probably 60 to 70 Christmas light guys in there now. So like in that Discord, you have access to a bunch of Christmas light guys. But for Adolfo, all you do is go to that link in the QR code, wait on the page for a minute, and then this bubble will pop up, and then that's how you book a meeting with us. We don't let people book meetings unless they've been on the page for a minute, because we run ads to this page, and if I don't do that, then the pixel data is disgusting. So just wait a minute on the page, and then the button will pop up that says apply to work with us, and then just book a meeting.
Yeah. This is
yeah, Jobber does. Like, Jobber's not good on a phone and SMS platform. He's right.
Who's LeBron? Who's LeBron?
Donovan's LeBron. Isn't Kai Sennett a streamer? Isn't he like a what high school kids follow now?
Dude, I barely know who either one of these people are. Yeah. I apologize.
Well, Jack is being mean to me. I'm assuming he's making fun of me, is what I assume. So,
Jobber sucks to call through, which is the problem. Yeah.
So my customers don't call the Jobber line; it forwards to the Snipey Lead line.
You can actually call that number,
dude. That number can forward to your office from Jobber.
What?
Yeah.
I probably have so many people trying to call me. It just doesn't connect.
I'm assuming you have it forwarding. I just
text it. Oh, maybe we have it forwarded. Okay. Is HSA or Snipey Lead better value? Dylan, what do you need in your business? You know what I mean? They're two different tools. That's like saying is Jobber or I don't know, open phone better. Well,
Yeah,
open phone.
it's like asking if proper like YouTube is better. It's like just HSA is like systems and processes and like a lot of community. Snipe Elite is just
here you go.
Platform.
Here you go. When you go to a grocery store, you don't buy everything on every shelf. You walk in, you get what you need, and you leave. Right. So that's like the like we're just trying to answer questions here. You know what I mean? Like take from it what you need and apply it. Ignore the rest, or file it for, back in your subconscious for when your business gets to that point that you think that you need it. At this point in the year, just do what's working or do what you absolutely need and then grow your business in the off season.
Yeah, I agree.
Both,
but HSA is all home service businesses, so it's kind of like works in the off season too.
So it's good. Tony's going to reach out and he's going to get his $15 refund. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that. Tony.
I just, my kid who's born in November, I just won't buy him presents next month, So, but you'll get your refund. So. So $99. Okay, so Dylan, there's a difference between your average ticket and what you advertise. Okay, if you say pay $10,000 for permanent lights, nobody's going to call you. You know what I mean? So you can't say $1,500 on your funnel because nobody's going to put in the information. Right. So that's the difference. So if you look at any of my ads or anything like that for Christmas lights, it says $499. I think our minimum $600, and that's like for one wreath or like 20 feet of lights. Right. So, but my average job is $2,600. But if I put that on my website instead of $499, or if I put that on my ads, I put on there $2,600, my leads are going to go from 100 a day or 30 a day down to 2.
Yeah. It's like, so on our homepage of our website, we have like, pick your package, it's like minimum. It used to be $699, $700 to $1,200, $1,200 to, $2,000, whatever else. We have so many $6,000 installs for like 3 straight years that clicked the minimum. And so what you have to understand about advertising, any kind of advertising, is like when you're getting them that cold, you're not selling them yet. You're capitalizing on interest. And like there's a world where someone gets a 35-foot pergola in their backyard lit for $9.99. Like that's the minimum. That can happen. But it's it's like you don't want to, like, you haven't given them a reason to see why you're different on the first touch of an ad. And so it's like you're just generating leads.
Yep. 100%.
We've done a $1,800 per install this year. It's very small.
1,800 or 18,000?
1,800. We've done small perm installs, like low story roof, like maybe 70 feet, maybe not even that, 60 feet at $30 a foot. Yeah.
I don't know what my lowest one is, but I would say when I see mansions, dear gosh, I don't try to sell those, guys. I send it at like the highest rate that I can think of. And I just put a ridiculous number on it. And I just hope to God that they don't approve. Okay. Because I would rather do 2, $6,000 jobs in a day than do one mansion that takes me like 3 days. Okay. I mean, we just got done with a $14,000 job and it's taken 2 full days. And my guys did a $4,500 job today, and they were done, like start and done before 1 o'clock. Like if you look at it's easier on them. It's not as dangerous. It's not as complicated. We're not as likely to screw something up. I don't got to deal with like mesh extenders, so anyhow, I like the simple jobs. And here's my thing, guys. If you go there and they have a Tesla in the driveway and Ring cameras all over the house, they're going to buy. I mean, that is your customer right there. They are going to buy.
Because they're techie. They love the tech.
They're techie. Those techie nerds, I've even had those single dudes that are just like, they're probably a computer programmer. They're making bank. They're probably making like 180 grand a year. They don't even have a girlfriend. And they just like want to like put lights up on their house or something. They don't have kids or anything. Those are the best. Right. And we're putting up like less than 200 feet of lights. That is it.
Yeah.
Brian, it's really whatever the demand is there. I'd say the demand is there in almost all markets that you can just pick what you want more of and then put dollars behind that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're all my buddies.
I like, dude, Paul is one of the more enjoyable installers I've met at those events. Paul is a good dude, man. I really enjoyed talking to him.
Paul's a good guy. Paul, are we going to see you in Washington State here in 3 weeks, couple of weeks, something like that? So beautiful area.
Paul's also like one of the more well-rounded entrepreneurs in the Christmas light space. Paul does a lot of other stuff too.
Paul is like, when you meet him in person, you can tell like this guy's had a little bit of success in his life and he has some experience, right?
Oh, he's got some of that BDE. He's got some of that BDE. He's cashed a few big checks in his life for sure.
Yeah. And so then he drops like, yeah, my guys are doing like a $90,000 install today, and you're like,
he did. He dropped some crazy stuff to me in Seattle.
I spent $250,000 a year on coaching. I'm like, okay, Paul is rolling in it, and for some reason he likes to come and hang out with me at times. I don't know why.
I know. Sometimes there's a few times
I put him to work. Every time he's coming, I put him to work. He shows up at something to like attend, and then I'm just like, what can I get Paul to teach while he's here? I'll just spring it on him, and then he's like, he just delivers every time.
Yeah, dude, that is true. Like your guys' events have actually introduced me to some pretty big whales in the industry, like Patrick Walker. I met him through your guys' stuff. You guys have a good network. Aaron from CLD, dude. Like
you'd never know. Yeah, flying below the radar. There's some ballers in the space, man. Here we go. Price for HSA for Steve.
Yeah, it's like I could sit here and be, book a call, whatever. Like I don't care. It's $3,800 if you join on the call. We give you an ad credit. After the call, it's $4,800.
Yeah. So
you can pay us once. You can pay us once. Or you can pay an agency $1,000 a month for the rest of your life. Which one do you choose?
Yeah, there you go. And he don't want the people that want cheap. He wants the people that is actually going to sign up and do something. Because I can't tell you how many times I put on a training, I'm pouring into it. Like right now, it's 10 o'clock at night, and I didn't tuck my kids in tonight, right? Like I'm not here trying to sell you guys something. You guys couldn't pay me that to miss my kids. You know what I mean? Like tucking them in. That's like I've gotten to spend 1 hour with them today. So the thing is like, if I'm actually going to go live, I want somebody to get some information out of this and fricking win. That's the only thing that you can pay me with, right? The amount of money that to say, hey, Donovan, I want to book a coaching call with you at 8 o'clock and be on the phone with you for 2 hours. You could not pay me an amount of money for that, right? So, again, there's a little bit of some psychology there, that $3,800. You're not going to get tire kickers in there. And think about the value of that community. Everybody in there has paid to be there and has applied the results, right? There's very few tire kickers.
Yeah, it's kind of like we don't even let, like in our application, we actually have it at the point where like if you have to do 15,000 in revenue in your off-season business to join, or in your Christmas light business, you have to have done it before. So it's like, it's not like a crazy number, but it is like, we're not like, if somebody's new in their business and like trying to bootstrap, like I don't want them stressed out by buying my thing and then trying to like put money into ads or whatever else. So there's a reason for it.
Yep. 100%.
Yeah.
Spencer, here we go. Hey, Spencer, by the way, Washington State, you just came out to Indiana. I know you flew all the way out there to hang out with Fred and Tyler, but I'm literally coming to your neighborhood. You're going to come hang out with me in Washington here in a couple of weeks. So what are you charging for the C9 RGB per foot? Are you leasing at all? Yes. So what he's talking about is Minley and Permanent Lighting has the best looking C9 bulb on the market. Like a bunch of other brands, Holiday Dynamics and HP, like there's been a few different brands that have a C9 RGB bulb that they've tried to do it. But the problem is they try to make it so cheap, right, that it's not reliable. So Minley has come out with a very good looking, extremely reliable bulb. It's going to be the last C9 bulb that you guys are going to have to buy, right? And so what am I charging for that? Well, let's look at cost, right? Cost is anywhere from $550 to $7 a foot, depending upon what you got to pay for shipping. And, if it's a really short run or a bunch of 1 foot cables in there, anything like that, right? So you're going to be anywhere from $550 to like $7 a linear foot is going to be your cost. So you need to cover that, right? I can't lose money. I can't just switch all of my customers over to this year one. So we are charging more. We're charging more for having multiple holidays, which is typically $300 or $500. And then they get these RGBs. So if you look at my average installs, 150 feet times, at $500, they're paying an additional $4 a foot, right? $4 a foot, whatever that math is on there. So if I'm already at $8 a foot to $10 a foot, they're paying, $11, $12 a foot up to like $15 a foot, somewhere in there for the color changing. Will I lease it on a commercial? Yeah, absolutely. These are rated to be left up permanent. It's the same rating as your permanent lights. So you could put these up that like theme parks or whatever that want that C9 look. They don't want the pebble look. You could absolutely put these up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I haven't even touched those.
They're new. And they are going to sell out. I'm not trying to plug anything or whatever. I don't even think I've put my website up here yet, where you can buy stuff. But it's mainly in permanent lighting. But they will 100% sell out this year.
Yeah. Dylan's talking about the jobber number. Yeah. For any jobber fellas, go to your settings. Make sure you're forwarded.
I'm going to call it. I bet you, I like you're saying, I bet you it is forwarded. I hope it is, but I'm having like a little bit of worry because my very first season, maybe it was my second season. So my first real season where we did like 75 grand, I was so happy. And then I went to my spam folder and I saw like 200 leads that just went straight to spam and I didn't even know. So right now I have like a little bit of like dread here, or like for the past 10 years, have I just not forwarded that number and everybody tries calling it and it just like, burr, 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 we're sorry, this number is not connect. I'm like, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Like that again, I could write a book on how idiots could run a company.
Not that stupid. Your company's doing a lot of bread.
Our minimum on our funnel now is now $1,900. Woo! Look.
Yeah, that's crazy. Paul's got a nice niche out there, dude.
Look, we tell people on the phone $1,750. I like it, Paul, man. I like it a lot.
I like it too.
Yeah. Donovan, what are you guys doing with C9 RGB? Like 10, 12 a foot RGB.
He asked it twice. One on YouTube, one on Facebook.
Gotcha. Look, yeah, 100%. And here's the one thing that I will say about Facebook ads is that if you are too low or you don't somehow require them to go through a bunch of steps and be serious, like, Steve, you're accomplishing that with making them fill out like 5 different fields, right? So it's not like somebody just accidentally clicks on it and that's a lead submission, right? Mm-hmm. So this keeps the tire kickers out of there, and you're going to have a higher customer, cost per lead, right? But that's not necessarily a bad thing if you have a higher closing rate as well. Mm-hmm. So I would even argue that the limitation is more about how many leads that you can go through than how many leads you can get. So,
yeah, because if once you start like selling like volume, it's like doesn't really make sense to like just go chase down a bunch of nonsense.
So I'm not going to disclose Paul's, Christmas light business, but his sign company is well known throughout the U.S. I will just leave it at that. I try not to speak for other men. Sometimes I do, and I regret it every time.
You can speak for me, Donovan. Speak for me.
Yeah, but you and I talk, ahead of time, and you're coming on the live and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't remember what people tell me in confidence. So I will just say Paul does very well, and his work speaks for himself.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Lighting Launch 2025? So Lighting Launch 2025 is in the past. So if you invent a time machine, I can invite you out to it. But Lighting Launch 2026, we were discussing, I got this sarcastic streak. I'm surprised. I closed one job. This is so bad, dude. I showed up and I don't know why. I was just ornery. I made fun of the client the entire time.
That's a good sales tactic.
On the in-person assessment, I was just making fun of him. I was making fun of the toys he had inside. The whole time I was making fun of him, and then he like paid me on the spot a deposit. So I apologize. I only make fun of people that I like, unless I really don't like you, and then I really make fun of you.
Good.
So 2026, I am leaning towards we were considering Vegas. Okay,
Vegas.
But here's the thing.
Scottsdale.
Here's the thing. Okay. In Lighting Launch 2025, we had 3 people there who were 18 or under. And so 2 of them were still in high school. So how am I going to get on the phone with somebody's mom and be like, hey, I'm bringing your 17-year-old kid to Vegas. Just trust me. they won't see any boobs or drugs,
That
right?
sounds like a them problem, dude. That sounds like
Ah.
you're pricing for your youngest customer and not the majority of your customers.
But Christmas Light Contractors were known to be like a Christian company. You know what I mean?
A
We're
great
not trying to
evangelical
make
opportunity. Great
we're not
evangelical
trying to
opportunity.
make lighting launch for everybody. I don't want 200 people there. I'm okay with like 50 to 100 people. So I have a very, very, very hard time going to Vegas. We were considering that. The other thing that I found out is that Vegas got stupid expensive. Like it used to be like a really cheap place, which was a big consideration. Like I don't want people to have to pay $3,500 to come to a conference, like just in pure expense. I'd rather like have limited spots and kind of pick and choose who we invite. I'd rather kind of be like on an invite only type basis. But you don't have to spend like $5,000 to get there.
Donovan,
So it's something that you could bring your family to.
I have a space we could use. We need to talk offline. I have like a really good space in Scottsdale that would be.
Do you? Okay, so
I'm
open to that, and we would do it early in the year, like we do it like into February, going into March before it gets real hot. The other place that I was looking at was possibly like Charlotte, North Carolina, has an Olympic training center for whitewater rafting. So like, let's go.
I'm sick of traveling east. I'm sick of it. Let's go
east. Get hypothermia. But dude, look at like Christmas light installers. They're all on the East Coast, man.
I know.
Here's what I will say. I will 100% commit to a training in Scottsdale next year. I would even commit to one this year if you want to just get it on the books, man. But I'm open to that. So maybe we'll be out in Arizona, and then maybe we can like squeeze in some Aaron Farley. That would make it kind of close for him as well. $8 million light installer.
Yeah,
right?
and then Tyler Zimmerman said that sounds hot. I don't want Tyler out here. I don't want Tyler anywhere near where I sleep. I don't want Tyler anywhere near where I rest my head at night.
Oh, he corrected himself, and he corrected himself like how long ago was that? 10 minutes ago, and I just made fun of him. I apologize, Jeremy. How do you pay your sales guys? Sales guys need to be hungry. $500 a week plus 10% commission. How do you do it?
Oh gosh, dude. Okay, so my sales guys get 6% of top line rev, so of new business. So 6% of what they sell. So top line revenue for any new guys, just sales. Like whatever they sell, and we invoice, they get 6% of it. And then I have performance kickers built in. So every $50,000, they get a little bit extra. And then my second year guys, when they renew, they get a flat dollar amount for the renewal, and then they get 10% of upsold business. So if it was a $3,000 job last year and they turn it into a $6,000 job, that starts to add up real fast.
What if they just rebook it and they don't upsell anything? Do they get?
I think we give them $100 for everyone, because, like, to be honest with you, my office could do that. So it's like that's not really for them. So we want them to go grow the jobs in the second.
And you want the guys that like, you know what I mean? They're hungry, like they want, you know what I mean? So it's very much performance motivated. So both ways, you know, you got to build in some performance. You can't just be like, I'm going to put them on salary. Right.
Yeah. It's like, if your salespeople want salaries, like don't hire them.
So I'm literally coming next door to him, but he didn't know till he already booked his plane ticket.
Wait, you're going to Bothell? Donovan, I grew up in Bothell. That's funny.
Did you really? Yeah, you should come out. Come hang out.
I don't go back there. I don't go back.
It's like it's a good place to be from, not to go to. Does HSA do sales or marketing only?
There's like, it's definitely marketing. It's definitely marketing and systems based. But there is like a sales component of it. Like we have group calls. We talk about sales all the time. But like, I wouldn't, if you're like, oh, I want an Andy Elliott level sales training, not that.
Yeah. Brian Roberts, definitely want to learn from you guys. I'm ready to scale this shiz to the next level. Appreciate your dedication to teaching. You're welcome. And I'm rooting for you, Brian. You don't have to pay us a bunch of money. You can just tune into the lives if you'd like. You could probably randomly catch me on a phone call. Steve, I don't know. Can people catch you on a phone call or no? Are you too busy?
No, I don't.
You know, if you want the marketing, you want a lot of this stuff. I mean, either watch the lives and just do like a lot of the information is out there, the basics, and you can figure it out. You know, figure out the minutia. But if you know, pay for HSA, right?
My time is dedicated to the people that are in it. Like I'm not like.
And see, that's something like that's a big difference maker. And Steve and I have talked about this, and people are like, Donovan, you should do this, or you should charge more, you should do, you should charge more for this, or you give a lot of information. I'm not as confident in my ability to teach as Steve is. I feel like Steve can, like, every time he speaks, I'm like, man, I really hope he's not coming up before me, or after me. Like, I hope it's like the next day or something so that I don't have to compete with that. And he just delivers, right? And he's put in the time, he's put in the systems, he's really developed it, and it's worth every single penny and more than what he's charging. I am not reliable enough. I'm not organized enough. If you guys have watched this phone call, Steve's been like, Donovan, you don't do this. Like, you don't do that. Like, I am if Donovan can do it, anybody can do it. And Steve is like what I would like to become one day. So
that's very flattering.
Home Service Accelerator, sign up for that. He may pass my business. I don't know. It's going to be tough if you pass me this year, but you'll do it in less time than me. You know what I mean? But it might be close. I'm 1.5 is my goal for this year.
Oh, we're not. We won't pass you this year.
You won't do 1.5?
No.
Okay. I might not either. I might not either. But
no. We'll do 1 point something, not 5.
Yeah. But look, if you want to check out Steve's stuff, Home Service Accelerator, there's the link again.
Thanks for the plug. A lot of Home Service Accelerator guys are in this chat, by the way. I see another one.
Yeah. All right, I think Pearl G, do not go in person. He can't add that much value like handsome Steve. Dude, look, Paul has more kids than me, and that's saying something. So his wife thinks he's good looking, and that's probably all that matters to Paul. So,
yeah, and also he's talking about Jack here, and like if I'm being called a handsome Steve, like, dude, every single time we post an ad, Jack is like 6'8" and like a stud.
Jack is like this tall.
Dude.
I mean, he's like, I know, like, I'm so skinny beanpole. Like, Jack has muscles. He's like tall.
Dude.
Steve has the hair swoosh going on. Like, did y'all see the photo? Did y'all see the photo that I posted in the group? It's the only photo I could find with me and Steve. And I was like, please, Steve, find another one. And I think Steve specifically did not look. He's like, ha, 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 look at Donovan next to us. My hair's like my hat. Do I have a hat here? I don't even have a hat. My hair's like sticking out underneath. Like, I got nose hairs coming out of my nose. Yeah.
Dude, I've posted it to Twitter a few times. I haven't put it on Instagram or anything. But like, dude, when we run ads with Jack in them, gay dudes comment on our ads all the time. Like, oh, when are you going to send the big tall guy over? And I have to delete them off of our ads like all the time. Oh, yeah. So Jack,
I think you should change the catch line. You can look all you want. Watch Jack climb up the ladder, and that should just be like a whole ad.
I'll sell my soul for Jack. I tell them if they pay the deposit, they can even touch Jack a little bit.
They can. I just say you can look all you want, no touching. Okay. One lady called in, and she called. My wife answers this, and she's like, "Is Donovan Questenberry there?" And it's like obviously like an 80-year-old woman. Okay, like very obvious. We have the recording. I listen to it sometimes just to get a chuckle. And she's like, "I don't know what y'all offer, but I need to hire you." And she's like, "That name sounds like a name out of a romance novel book." And I'm just like, Lauren, don't you dare send me out there. I'm like, this old lady will like chloroform me and like tie me up in her basement or something. I'm like, don't you dare send me out to this lady's house, and don't you dare like send me out there alone.
Dude,
like,
just get the sale, Donovan. Sell your soul. That's all right. Think about your family.
Look, man, some years I give away free stuff with every sale. So can't say that joke either on the live.
No, I'm trying to find the
right, here we go. Joe, another shout out.
Oh, what'd he say?
Mar-Lago. I have connections. Look. I would be game for that. I just don't know that I can afford that. So let me know what that would cost, man. I'm game. Okay, Jobber AI sucks. Or do you agree or disagree?
I don't know enough about it. I haven't even tried it. So Dylan's saying that like you can't like it can't forward text. No, it can't forward text. It forwards calls. So like if someone calls that texting number you're texting, it will route to your business's phone number. You can't forward text.
Yeah, I wish they would, because I don't like any of that being on there. I used OpenPhone. They just changed it over to QO or something like that. Mm-hmm. They had integration. That integration sucked as well. So yeah,
but I love Quo, like OpenPhone. I think that's like the best phone system ever. I think it's so good.
Yeah, we use it, and Here we go. I am curious, how many of you guys are paying installers 100% performance pay, and how well did that work? So I did that last year, and I wish that I would have done it every single year since I started. My challenge has always been burning out guys, even the real good ones, with the promise of you're going to get a bonus at the end of the year. And what I have found is that installers don't have that motivate. They can't stay that self-motivated. So what I did was a weekly hourly pay. Okay, so track your hours. We're going to pay you weekly, but that's against a commission. So let's say you're just starting with me. Hey, you're making 25 bucks an hour. And I look at what your commission was on what you've actually installed, and I will adjust your pay up every single week or keep it where it was. And so what happened was guys would be installing, they start at 25 bucks an hour, but they start installing at a $30 an hour rate. I raised their pay in the next week, and I raised their pay, and I raised their pay, and guys were going from like a $700 paycheck cleaning gutters to like, wow, I made 800 bucks hanging lights, and wow, I made $1,200. Then I made 13. Oh my God. And I made $1,600 in a week. And so every week it was the first season last year that they started doing more and more and more work all the way through December. I had one guy that started with me at the beginning of November and made over $45,000.
So sick.
And so then what I did is right before Christmas, and I did it that way because Jobber doesn't do good tracking for commission. They have since implemented a better feature and a better reporting. So this year it's going to be so much easier. But I did that hourly pay, like your pay weekly is based upon the hours, and I'm going to up your hourly rate. I did that last year because of my limitations with Jobber. And then what I did is right before Christmas, I factored out what they would have earned on that percentage versus what they got paid out, and they got a bonus right before Christmas time frame. So it was, you just, what I have found is if you are going to do performance pay, it needs to be transparent. Guys need to know what they're making. And they need to know that's the biggest thing. But I'm 100% for performance pay.
Yeah. And it's like, don't just listen to Donovan, like Tommy Mello, Cam Bowden from Green Mango, like these 9-figure home service businesses, all of them are like massive performance pay guys. Like all of them. It's not coincidence that the businesses that get that size understand that.
Yeah, 100%. Steve, I just discovered your content today, and I'm really enjoying it. I heard you mention that you don't recommend scaling Facebook ads past around $100 per day or so. Is someone is trying to scale aggressively? Do you really recommend limiting Facebook spend to $100 per day? That is not what Steve said. He said don't start it at that, possibly.
Yeah.
But he said max it out. Like, if you're starting at 30, then the next week go to 50, and then go to 70, then go to 80. But watch your metrics, and at some point you're going to get a diminishing return. You either need to don't increase the spend or change up your creative.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah, I think that's like, there's probably some nuance to like, maybe it was a specific video I was talking about for new businesses or something, but like I'm spending $350 a day. Like I want everybody in that market to know my name. Like I know my cost per lead is going to be higher. I know.
And you and I both have ads running that are over $1,000 a day. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Like, no, the $100 a day is not a hard ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I can't say it. I try to give as much information as possible out there for free, but it's so hard to get a full picture when you're only watching a live or you're only watching a 30-second video clip or something like that. It's not that we're trying to keep anything from you, but sometimes there's not context, or there's 10 steps to that, right? And you're only seeing step 1, 5, and 7, right? And so like, I would just say, if you have the money to invest, like check out the program, is all that I would say. For the record, I was in debt when my wife met me, but when you start making, I also see that your baby count kept going up and your income kept going up. All right. So there might be a correlation there as well.
Yeah. She's the best investor there is.
Yeah.
I love baby.
Like homeboy came home making a sale, and then she gave him a cookie. All right. Like she said, here's your dinner, and I got dessert. And then 9 months later, Paul was even more motivated to go make more money.
It's good. It's good.
Paul has like 6 kids, I think. So I'm done at 4. And if I'm not done, I gotta revisit the doctor. Okay. So I am done.
Little snip, snap, snip, snap.
earlier this year, and it was not as easy going as some people say it was. It was an experience.
Yeah, Jake, my videographer, had that too. Same experience. Was not a pleasant time this year.
It wasn't bad, but dude, it was weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. It was, yeah, it wasn't like, oh, the next day I'm just like doing jumping jacks. For all of y'all who were wondering. Open phone thinking it was a good fit with Jabber, but Jabber just behind the ball with a true serum. That is not Jabber's fault. That is QO's fault. Open phone's fault. Their integration suck.
I love Open Phone. I will not tolerate the slander. I love them so much.
Their standalone is great. Their integration with other things suck.
For now.
Hey,
what do you? What?
Hey, that is similar to how we did it. Thanks, D. Yeah, that was from Paul Gardner right there.
Okay, what do we got here?
Is Christmas bonus is manipulative? Should we be update weekly, daily? I feel like the performance Christmas bonus is manipulative. Should be updated. All right, here's something that I want to say. Performance pay needs to be matched to the personality. You see what I'm saying? Like maybe the guy like me, desperate, 4 kids, wife at home, doesn't have a dime to my name, hasn't ever done sales before. Maybe that's not a good fit for me. And somebody waiving performance pay, maybe somebody could take advantage of me if I was in that situation. So I think that you are right that there is the possibility that it is manipulative. But then there's also the slightly addictive personality, chasing the high, get motivated off of wins type personality that I also have, where if I am good at the job, that performance pay, it works with my natural drives. You see what I'm saying? So Dylan, I think us as business owners and maybe people as charismatic as Steve and myself, like we could use that for evil, but there's also like we can use it for good. And I think that you just need to know that. You need to know your situation and you need to pour into your people. And if they're underperforming, you pour into them or you let them go. You don't just keep that carrot in front of their face like, oh, one day. And I see that quite a bit. But the other thing is when you make that performance pay period shorter, they're either going to win or they're going to lose in the span of a week. It's not like, oh, hey, work for me all season. And then, you know what? You didn't quite do it. I'm not going to give you that bonus. Or like you've all heard of the coaching teams that bench the guy before the touchdown where they would get the big bonus. Like that's not what we're doing. I'm the guy that's like, if you're that close, you know what I mean? And you're actually putting in the effort, you didn't quit early, then you're going to get that bonus if you fall short, right? $100,000 goal, you hit 98, you're getting the bonus. You know what I mean? So I'm not using it against you. I'm using it for you. But I think that's legitimate. How do you feel about that, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, like, I think I don't know. We have a lot of employees and the idea of like tailoring the structure to an individual doesn't really jive with me because we need like uniformity. And so like everybody should have the same opportunity. And like, but like your setup might be different. Like your permanent guy, like you have one guy just like run it. It's like, well, we're like in our system, it's like Jack is here and then he's got his leads, his managers, like his crew leads under Jack. And then he's got all of his installers and then, or he's got rovers, which are like installers who can do service and then lead a crew if somebody calls out sick or something. And then under that, we have all the installers. And so it's like, we have a performance pay component for the managers and above, but like everyone else, the performance incentive is like, we give them a clear org chart. Like this is how you make more money. You go from baseline installer to rover, then you go from rover to install lead, like backup install lead. Then you go from install lead to whatever. And then you go from install lead to whatever else. And like, we tell the story all the time. Like Jack was 22 when he started, or like, no, he's like 19 when he started. He's like 22 now, 23 now. Like Jack was a $20 an hour employee. Now he owns a 50% part of the company with me of the permanent business. And like Jack will be taken care of very substantially off the temporary business as well. Like so what we try to ask our guys is like, do you want 100% of the grape or do you want 5% of the watermelon? Like 10% of the watermelon. So like if the whole ship grows, there's room for everybody. And like, that's been the case for both of my businesses. Like Valley Christmas, Valley Premier, and Home Service Accelerator. Like, dude, one of my Home Service Accelerator employees got paid 14 grand this month. He's like 22 years old, 23 years old. Like, that's not nothing. But it's like he came in and was making $1,000 a month. It's like as the business grew, the nut got bigger, and we can share with everybody else. Like, that's 100%. How the business works.
And I will back that up by saying, don't tailor the position to the person. The person needs to fit the position or needs to fit the business. A couple other examples, like, hey, if you meet at the shop in the morning, you meet at the shop in the morning. If somebody can't meet there at the shop, they can't work for you. You got to be able to make it to payday. We're not doing payday advances. We're not, you know what I mean? Like I'm not going to pay you on Thursday, or I'm not going to Zelle you and cash you and direct deposit. Like you have to fit the opportunity that I can provide, because that's the win-win. If anytime we tailor something, every single time, it eventually comes back and bites you in the butt. Hey guys, we're going on 2 hours. This is an hour longer than we normally do. Steve is over there yawning. My eyes are right here. So we're going to cut this off short. I will take a couple more. Sam is jumping on at the 2 hour mark. All right.
Can I say one thing there really quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I think like if somebody just gets this from this call, I think it'll change like a lot. Like it changes one business. So you have to understand, when you have employees come in, that perception of guardrails and systems to the employee is sometimes better than even having the systems and guardrails. And so what I mean is, like, you might feel like every day you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off because you're a business owner and you're disorganized and everything's breaking every day. But like your employees are coming in cold a lot of the time. Like, they don't know. And so the more rigid you can make it feel, like structures of like, meet at the warehouse. No, we can't pay you early via Venmo. No, you can't do this. Like, everyone's here at this time. If you no call, no show, it's an instant termination, no exceptions. Like, the more there are guardrails, perceived guardrails set up, the more employees fall in line. It's like when you start like being like, oh, F it, you know, like, yeah, do this, show up there, do this. Oh, whatever. It's not a big deal. Do this. Then they're like, oh, like the owner's kind of like, whatever. And like, they perceive it to be a lackadaisical operation. Then they will treat it like a lackadaisical operation.
Yeah.
So it's like 100%. Systems and processes are one thing. Them feeling like there's a perception that someone is auditing that system and paying attention to what they're doing is arguably more important than the system itself.
Yep. 100%. 100%. Couldn't agree more.
Sorry.
Couldn't agree more.
I had to drop something, you know?
Are you eating processing fees? I personally am. Paul Gardner is adding 3%. Do what makes sense to you. Just because.
Build it in. If you're at $10 a foot, go to, what is it, 1030? Is that what that is? What does that come out to? Is that what that is?
Yeah, something like that. $10. Yeah, $10.30. It's.
I guess it'd be 1035 to make up for the percentage increase. But that's just
yeah. Okay, 2 questions. When going on an in-person quote, should you have a lookbook, or should you photos on the iPad? Do you have a warehouse near Virginia? Thanks in advance. Yes, we have a warehouse in Oxford, North Carolina, which you can throw a rock and hit Virginia. So Marcus, if you order from lightsforsale.com, then you can, you can absolutely, here we go, right here. Purchase lightsforsale.com. You can pick up in Oxford, North Carolina, if you would like. A lookbook. Yeah, you got to have something. For permanent lights, I have a whole case. Like, I have a demo case. They get to see the lights. I show them the app and stuff like that. For regular, I have a book with a bunch of photos in it. What I like doing is talking to the client, hand them the lookbook, say, hey, go inside, let me work up a quote, ask me a bunch of questions, but here's some examples of my work. And it gives me another reason to go back inside, get my lookbook, sit down with them at the table, and close them on the spot. If you're going to go in person, ask for the sale. Don't, fumble at the 1 yard line.
Oh, also do this. Like, this is a no-brainer. Absolutely do this. Will you share my screen?
Yep.
So like, if you have Jobber, get at least the middle tier and like, dude, build out your quote template. Like, like build out like photos in there. And then like every one of our customers, like when they're getting the quotes, like sell them on the dream a little bit, Like if you don't have this set up in Jobber or House Call Pro or whatever you're doing, like wherever they're like getting quotes and about to pay, like, dude, take 10 minutes and like build some brand in there. Like, make them feel like you're not just chucking a truck. Like, this little stuff goes a long way.
Yep. 100%. 100%. And he also put those reviews down there at the bottom. Those are real reviews, right? They're not fake ones. Those are real reviews pulled from, pulled
yeah,
from
those are linked to our that jobber's linked to our Google business page.
Yep. Thanks. I'll be looking into HSA for sure. The night is young. You are absolutely right. The night is young. But Sam, you are late. Dude, you are not only fashionably late, you are literally 2 hours late, Sam. And here's the other thing. I know that you're in my time zone. Okay. So, I don't, what else are you doing? You're out there like pouring concrete or striping, I know you're out there doing something. Maybe you're out there hanging lights now. Maybe you're at the zoo, your big project, your 6-figure project. What I love about Sam, here's something that's pretty cool. Bro sold like a $65,000 tree, you know what I mean, to the city. And he's taking on these big, massive projects like immediately. He's the guy that's like, say yes, sell them, and then figure it out. So Sam is a absolute beast when it comes to running a business, man. Everybody's rooting for Sam.
Yeah, I was going to say, Michelle's asked that a few times. I want to make sure we answer that.
Michelle, where at?
You just put it up, Michelle.
Oh, Michelle. Okay. What do you think about separating temporary and permanent lighting businesses? I'm not. What are you guys doing?
We did separate them.
Yeah. So what are your business names?
Valley Christmas Lights and Valley Premier Lighting. So the reason we separated them was I didn't love the idea of Christmas rolling around in March, right? Like Christmas, right? So that was one. The other one, and I don't care, because honestly, if my competitors are in my market because I know they're paying attention, they probably won't take action. So I don't care. I have 2 Google business pages that both rank for permanent Christmas lights and temporary Christmas lights. So when Tina says, honey, go get a quote, they might get a quote from Valley Premier and Valley Christmas Lights. Those are both owned by me. So I have 2 Google business pages. So that's like
having a gas station on all 4 corners of the intersection, and you own all 4 gas stations. But
the real reason is like Jack has 50% equity in permanent, so we had to separate. So like that's also why we did that. I don't know if I would have done it without that.
Y'all can do the math on this one. Okay. We paid over $250K in 1 year for credit card processing fees. We put a stop to that. So y'all can do the math on that, how much credit card processing fees are of the total. And work backwards.
That would be that's 8.3 million at a 3% at a 3% clip.
Oh,
right? Isn't that math right?
Then Paul, I paid more than that in credit card processing fees.
Oh yeah, you probably do.
You don't want to know what my UPS bill is.
Yeah.
Here we go. All right, the last one. Do y'all seek out working with influencers where you give them discounts in exchange for a post if they have a certain number of followers? I'm not opposed to it. I don't seek them out. They typically reach out to me. I am really good at getting the phone to ring. I don't need an influencer, or I don't need Facebook, or I don't need a yard. You know what I mean? I don't need any one thing. I don't think that there is any one magic, you know what I mean? Like here's the secret sauce. I think that you try it all, you track it, and you do what was working. When it's working, you double down on it. So do we have influencers that we would give a discount to in exchange for this? Absolutely. What I have also found is that influencers, influencers are sometimes needy. Sometimes they're the best people in the world. Sometimes they are needy. So I have canceled more jobs on influencers than I have installed for them. That's just me. And don't get me started on realtors, okay? Because they think that they're the influencer for their neighborhood, and all they are is just trying to get a discount on their own house. How do you feel about this, though?
Me personally?
Yeah.
So I think that like I do social media to like for a much bigger purpose than getting a 10% affiliate link for like having a social media presence. So I think in HSA last year, you guys gave me like an influencer affiliate code. I'm pretty sure I passed all of it straight to the customers, or at least like 90% of it, or like I don't think I take a cut. The ones in my YouTube, I think I do like a very small amount, but like that's just like the public one. But
I think what he's talking about is like a local influencer would you do work for, would you install lights on their house in
Oh.
exchange for, yeah, I think that's this
confused. I was confused. Certain number of followers. So that's a good question. I was thinking you were talking about,
but I will address that. Steve 100% has said more times, like, quit trying to pay me an affiliate or whatever. You know what I mean? He's like, I just want to, you know, give value and grow HSA. Like, I'm not trying to get an affiliate link. If you guys are willing to do that, how about you just give a discount to my people?
For my HSA people, for my HSA people, like I don't want it to become lying. Like my YouTube one, I think I get a very small percentage, but like I'm not trying to hide that at all. I just that felt maybe slightly dishonest. But for local influencers, so for anybody that's like follows me on YouTube, I interviewed a guy named Cam Bodden and then a guy named Evan Ritchie. They own two. One of them sold a pest control business for over $100 million. Other one has like a grout and tile cleaning and furniture cleaning business that does like 10 mil a year or something like that. They do local influencer campaigns with like mommy vloggers for their stuff, and they print money with it. So the trade-off is like the easiest way to do it is if you have a service that you could do for free and not bankrupt yourself. So it doesn't make a lot of sense for Christmas lights because like what the pest control guys were doing was they were giving free pest control to the influencer in exchange for like 3-story posts when the crew comes out and like something else. And to them, it was like their monthly service was $79. So it was like, that's not going to break the bank. But like any other marketing, they were doing it to the tune of like hundreds of influencers, not just like finding 5. Like they were printing money with influencer marketing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say anytime that you do something like this, it's the same as like doing a gig. And like I would try to get news agency out there. I would try, you know what I mean? Like I would build more of an event around it. And I would go after more of that social. You can try it, but it's just not the key to getting a bunch of jobs. I mean, for the time and money, like look at it this way. You know, if you're going to spend $1,000 in materials on that influencer's house, or you spent $1,000 in ads, which one do you think is going to generate more leads?
Right.
And I'm going to go ahead and say probably $1,000 in ads, right? I mean, I know people, again, if my ad spend right now is $20 for a permanent lead, that's what it is. So that's what, 50 leads, right? $1,000 at $20 a pop. So that's 50 leads. If my closing rate is 10%, that's 5 jobs that I close off of that 1,000. And if my average ticket is 10 grand, if my average ticket is 5 grand, right? Like I have 25x my money right there. Okay.
That makes sense to me.
I don't think that doing a job for, you know, an influencer is probably going to turn into that much revenue. Could be wrong, you know, could be wrong, but you know, that's just the way that I look at it on average. Okay. On average. And that's also because a lot of influencers are not local. Now, if I had somebody that was like, for whatever reason, hyper focused local in my market influencer, right? That might be worth it. But most influencers are not hyper geographically focused.
Yeah.
All right, guys, look, we're going to call it a night. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for 2 hours. Hope you got some value out of it. I know I had a good time. We answered a bunch of questions. With that, probably see you guys next week. I am doing a big commercial job on Monday, so I don't know if I personally will be going live, but definitely CLC, somebody will be going live. And I think we have a Facebook ad company scheduled for Thursday. So the follow-up to Steve Hunsaker is no, it's Zeke. Zeke is Thursday. So Google ads. So I'm gonna bookmark. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do a Google ads guy, and then I'm gonna have Steve come back on, and then I'm gonna do a Facebook ads guy, and then I'm gonna have Steve.
I love Google ads. I pay an agency to do Google PPC. I pay for that. I don't run that myself.
But look, guys, we had a lot of fun. I hope you got some value out of it. God bless. Take care, and we will see you on the next line.
Thanks for having me, dude. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Absolutely.